Okay, we are here for the epilogue of Into the Abyss Trollhaunt Warrens. You guys have made it through 17 sessions, so this one is going to be a lot of talky talk, not very much slash and hack. But as I go through this, I've got a lot of stuff to read. Just public service announcement. A lot of this stuff was Chat GPT influenced and or just written completely with a few prompts from me. So these are not of my own making. So I'm not taking credit for any of them. But as I go through this, there are certain parts of it that Chat GPT threw out suggestions for how you guys would react, the things you would say. When I get to those points, if you don't want me to use or read those and let you guys react, say whatever you want for your character, I am totally fine with that. Tell me to shut up, stop, and you can kind of take over your character because I do not want to run your characters. But I will say
Oh,
some of these that they come up with, I think I put it in chat. Some of these have me like on the borderline of tears and stuff because we've got some pretty
oh,
dark stuff coming up here with what happened to Helmet and everything. Okay,
all
all right.
right.
So let's start off with the recap from session 17. The fall of Vard and the price of victory. Deep beneath the ruined fortress, the party faced the greatest challenge, the reborn Troll King Vard and the stone cauldron, the ancient artifact that made him unkillable. The cavern trembled with its dark magic, an eerie blue glow pulsing from within the rolling depths, as Vard emerged from the steam, his hulking form clad in tarnished battle armor. My puppet king told me you were coming. I am Vard, founder of Vardar, and the one true king of all the trolls. I should thank you, I guess, for it is by your hands that I am reborn. Alas, your existence shall no longer be tolerated in my realm. And with those words, the cauldron howled in response, and the battle began. Vard struck like a storm, his massive claws raking across multiple foes at once. The ghostly forms of long dead trolls drifted from the cavern walls, answering his call to slaughter. From his eye socket, Moran's eye pulsed with psychic power, seizing the minds of his enemies. Some left momentarily blind, others trapped in slow, agonizing motion. The party fought back with everything they had. The Blacklight's undead minions surged forward first, skeletal warriors of the fallen Eladrin charging in, but they were the first to be cut down. Rezel, calling upon Lathander's divine radiance, banished several ghostly trolls, forcing them to flee, their spectral wails echoing through the chamber. Bryn wove the power of the Raven Queen, conjuring great shards of ice that crashed into Vard, piercing his cursed flesh and slowing his movements. Grolnar, Splug, and Helmet rushed forward, weapons flashing in the dim light, pressing their advantage, the strikes raining down upon the undead king. Yet Vard only laughed, his voice filled with cruel amusement. You think you can kill me? Fools! The cauldron answered his call, its unnatural power swelling as it lashed out at the party, waves of dark energy pulsing outward. More ghostly trolls emerged from the cauldron itself, as though the artifact was wrenching souls from the afterlife to continue the fight. The battle raged on, each moment pushing the party to the limits. Blow after blow was exchanged, the cavern echoing with the sounds of combat. The tide of the fight turned again and again. Victory never seemed certain. Then Bard staggered back, his form wavering, only for his body to dissolve into black mist, rushing back to the cauldron. The party watched in horror as Vard was reborn before their eyes, emerging once more from the depths of the cauldron. He stood restored, renewed, and this time something had changed. Your struggle is meaningless. But his eye socket was now empty. Moran's eye was gone. The battle intensified. Vard, enraged, unleashed his full fury. The cauldron pulsed stronger, its energy striking down the party one by one. Splug, Grolnar, and Helmet fell in battle, their bodies crumpling to the cavern floor. Rezel fought to hold back the undead, but even his divine power was not enough. He, too, collapsed beneath their spectral assault. Only the black light and Bryn remained standing, their magic nearly spent, their strength nearly gone. Gralnar, by some miracle, forced himself back to his feet, but the cauldron struck again, and he fell once more. Then, in the chaos, Bryn saw it. Moran's eye, lying in the dust. A desperate plan formed. Bryn commanded Bonanna, her last undead minion, to retrieve the artifact. The skeleton dashed forward, snatching up the gem and racing toward the stone cauldron. The black light, hearing the prophecy once more in his mind, only you can kill that which cannot die, unleashed his final, desperate spell upon Bard. The Troll King fell. But even then, his ghostly minions surged forward, trying to drag his broken body back to the cauldron's depths. With no time to spare, Bonanna completed the task. Moran's eye was dropped into the cauldron. And then the world unraveled. The moment the eye touched the rolling depths, the cauldron froze unnaturally still before erupting in violent convulsions. A wail of agony burst forth, as though countless voices were being torn apart at once. The cauldron's black stone cracked, fractures spreading like veins of lightning as it violently rejected the artifact, now destroying it from within. The party watched in awe and horror as spectral figures, ghostly echoes of long-dead trolls, rose from the depths, their hollow eyes staring outward in agony. A deafening implosion followed as the cauldron collapsed inward, its dark magic shattered, its liquid evaporating into mist. The entire cavern shook, the Feywild itself trembling as the last remnants of Yard's unnatural resurrection were erased. And then silence. The cauldron was gone. The Troll King was no more, but so was Helmet. When the dust settled, the party discovered that one of their own had not survived. Helmet Erovar, elven paladin of vengeance, had fallen in battle. Splug, Rolnar, and Rezel awoke later to the news, their wounds healed, but their spirits heavy. They had achieved a great victory, destroying one of the most dangerous relics in the Feywild, but at a terrible cost. Now, they must return to Kaerndahl to mourn, to remember, and to decide how they honor their fallen comrade. It's currently day 8, around 8 p.m. Oh, wait, there's more. All right, so we haven't, I don't think we talked about as a group how you guys are going to head back. I can leave this open for you guys to kind of talk about amongst yourself. I do have a couple things to help you on your way back. But again, I don't want to railroad you guys. So you guys tell me if you want me to keep going, or you guys want to talk amongst yourselves about what you want to do in the aftermath of this fight, or how you want to handle it.
I think, so did we, are we going to just return to the keep and then go our own separate way, or do we go our own separate ways from here, guys?
Well, you guys still need to go back to Kaerndahl Hold. I got lots of stuff planned for you back in Kaerndahl Hold. Actually, I got stuff planned for you between here and Kaerndahl Hold. But again, I don't want to railroad you guys. So if there's something you want to talk about amongst yourselves, role play before you leave this battle, and just give you the opportunity to do that here if you want.
Have we? Is there any remains to search? Is there any items to search? Is around the destroyed cauldron? Did any artifacts fall out when that was destroyed, or anything like that?
Yeah, I didn't put that in the little recap there, but you guys did find the vault of where all the treasure was, and we shared all that in the last session.
The sword and all that?
That's right.
And one of the things you did find was that the fabled sword Sunwrath, that was the son of the barony that the Troll King killed early on in the session.
Yeah, that's right. And we have to return that to the dude.
Right. And also Helmet's items. Did we discuss those?
They're in the bag. We said Helmet would have first pick on everything first for his new character.
Right. And did he?
From story perspective, let's just say you guys are going to carry him and his body back, and we'll resolve that when we get back into town. that okay?
That sounds good.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
Okay. I think some of you guys have kind of talked behind the scenes about who might get stuff, and I've got things planned for that when you guys get back to Kaerndahl Hold.
All right.
Okay. Okay. Anything else you guys want to discuss? Or me keep going?
Keep going.
Okay. So a couple revelations as you guys make your way out of the ruins here, the ruined keep. You guys do come across the body of Dethos. You stumble upon Dethos' stripped corpse with a taunting message carved into Dethos' skin. Written in Sylvan with seemingly quick dagger strikes across his chest and abdomen. The words say, "He ran. We ran faster." Also, as you make your way back to the throne room in the Feywild, that's where the initial, I guess, method of you guys getting here was. I imagine that you guys had a discussion about whether or not you want to go back that route because there would probably be a new troll king on that throne, maybe a new era of trolls. So I put in here that on your way towards there, an odd raven with a blood-wrecked beak beckons Bryn and her friends to follow. It leads them to a hidden portal under an ivy-covered wall. This portal, by reading the sigils upon it, transports them to an open swamp west of the Great Warrens. So there's your exit out of the Feywild without having to go through the Great Warren.
And the swamp that nearly killed everybody like 6 times.
I don't think anyone ever died in the swamp. Did they?
The swamp was easy. No.
Okay. All right. So from here, you guys still have to navigate your way back to Kaerndahl Hold. And before someone asks it, if you've already forgotten, one of your methods of how to get back, if and when you left the Great Warrens, you guys remember what your initial plan was?
Breadcrumbs. We had left breadcrumbs.
You remember the green dragons that brought you here to that secret entrance?
Oh,
Yes, we wanted to go poke fun at them and call them a bunch of bitches.
David made it.
But
Not
no matter
helping us more.
how far you guys trudge through the swamp, how hard you look throughout the skyline, the green dragons do not appear. So either they betrayed you or something more nefarious is going down. You don't know that. But since this one's over, do you guys want to hear the reasons why they're not back? Or is it immaterial at this point? You guys tell me.
I'd like to know. I mean, there's no harm in knowing.
No, that's right.
There's nothing future campaign breaking about this, I don't think.
Well,
okay.
Until somebody makes a campaign for it, and then where are we?
Well, I mean, this could lead to a side quest at some point, but right now I have nothing planned.
Okay.
All right.
No, but it does. Yeah, like I say, it could only help us.
Okay. And like I said, I've got a shit ton of material here that me and ChatGPT have done over the past month of different things here. It's kind of cool. All right.
Has
So this is
Has your
called.
wife been on the road that long, Brian?
She's been gone for a week.
All right.
This is called The Betrayal of Sosseldoth and Drimnolthax. That was the name of the two green dragons. The party emerges from the hidden portal revealed by the Raven Queen. Stepping back onto the swampy expanse of the Trollhaunt Warrens, they expect to see two great winged forms waiting for them. The green dragons, Sosseldoth and Drimnolthax, offspring of their now rested Ungolacra. Ungolacra, it's a hard one to say. Yet the skies remain empty. No beating of wings, no gloating voices, no serpentine figures waiting to fulfill their promise. The dragons are not coming. So, behind the DM screen.
Hello.
Hey,
David!
Yeah, sorry. I'm late because I forgot again about the timeline.
I figured that was the case.
We could have given you a heads up too, but I didn't. I don't know. Anyways.
Okay.
Yeah, blame it on the stupid Americans. Yeah, it's all our fault. Canadians had nothing to do with it.
They
did.
Okay.
All right, so if you want to hear the recap, you have to go back and watch a session. I'm sharing with everybody behind the DM screen about why the Green Dragons didn't come to pick you up once you exit the Great Warrens. So go ahead and listen in. All right, so behind the DM screen, why did the dragons break their promise? says Sosseldoth and Jimlothax, true to the Green Dragon nature, never truly intended to honor their agreement unless it was convenient. The party had fulfilled their mother's dying wish, freeing Ungolacra from her Dracolich curse, but with her no longer present to enforce her commands, the dragon saw no reason to continue their service.
Oh shit.
Instead, they had other priorities. ... And I think those will stay hidden.
Perfect.
Look here. Do the dragons bother to confront or inform the party? Absolutely not, it says. They leave no message, no explanation, no parting words. If the party searches for them, they might find clawed footprints leading into the swamp, but no sign of their presence. Does anybody here have the ability to scry?
Theoretically, I could.
Splug can cry.
If
Nice.
scryed upon later, they are seen far from the Great Warrens, circling above some unknown structure deep in the swamps, already engaged in whatever new scheme they've chosen to pursue. Oh, I like this. If the dragons do decide to mock the party later, it would be through a letter, a passing fey creature, or some other insulting indirect method. Something dripping with sarcasm and false regret. And has an example here. It says, dear champions, we do apologize for the sudden change of plans. Urgent matters arose, and we simply couldn't wait. Such a shame. Perhaps next time we can discuss an arrangement that benefits us both. Until then, enjoy your walk. And with no ways to call them back, the party's left stranded in the swamps, forced to find their own way back to Kaerndahl Hold.
So where was that written, Brian? Sorry.
It just said that if they choose to mock you guys in some way, it says it could arrive through a letter or a passing fey creature or some other insultingly indirect method.
A bunch of dicks.
They are green dragons, so yeah, they are dicks.
Slug's gonna drop a big turd right where they live and then leave.
That's your calling card, I guess.
Yeah, he's defecating in their area there.
Oh, is that what the little green thing is? He's got a green turd stuck to the bottom of Helmet's body?
Yeah, that's right.
Okay. All right, so navigation back to Kaerndahl Hold. I originally had set up this as a skill challenge. I don't see there's really much benefit in that. All it's going to do is just impact how many days it is before you make it back to Kaerndahl Hold. The main thing that would have impacted was just all the harvested parts that are in the Blacklight's bag or backpack or hung loosely on his clothes somehow to maybe try to help kill the smell. But Blacklight and I had a conversation offline about how we're going to address that moving forward. But for this session, majority of those parts have gotten rotten before you get back to Kaerndahl Hold. Okay? Except, I'm going to make one exception here. So let me skip past the skill challenges here. Regardless of the outcome of the skill challenge, just as frustration sets in, they hear a strange, rhythmic croaking, followed by the groaning creak of a wagon wheel floating above the marshy waters.
It's the Blacklight's girlfriend!
Emerging from the mist, the familiar floating wagon of Agatha, the swamp hag, comes into view, drawn by her two massive, grotesque, humanoid frog beasts. Hold, please. As the weary adventurers approach Agatha's floating wagon, the grotesque frog beasts croak in unison, their wide, bulbous eyes unblinking as they watch the party struggle through the dregs of the swamp. Agatha herself sits perched on the wagon's edge, her gnarled fingers idly weaving the air as if plucking unseen threads. Her eyes gleam with amusement as she takes in the mud-streaked bodies, the exhausted faces, and the silent weight of Helmet's corpse. My poor little travelers, she croons, voice thick with honeyed malice. You've come so far, fought so hard, and now you wish to be whisked away. to be spared the final weary march to this forsaken land? Ah, yes, I could do this for you, but such a gift is not without its price. And she leans forward, her grin widening to show teeth that are just a little too sharp. And so, my dears, I shall offer you a choice. And she raises one gnarled, twisted finger and ticks off each option, her voice shifting with each suggestion, her tone alternating between playfulness, malice, and an eerie calm. So let's see here. I've got a handout for Agatha's price. So she's somewhere in here. I missed it. She is offering you basically a teleportation spell to get you closer to Kaerndahl Hole to avoid trudging through the swamp. But she wants something in return.
Helmet's body?
Well, let me
No.
go through the
Growler's thumb.
options. Sorry, go ahead.
Sorry, I was gonna say Growler's thumb or Blacklight's other ear for her tongue.
We do have a thumb, don't we? Oh, I don't know what medicine or what shit she can do with that though. That's crazy.
Yeah, so she tells you option 1 is a memory of helmet. She says, that fallen one you carry, there is weight in that loss, yes? The sorrow that lingers, I could lighten it. I could take it away. One of you must give me a memory of him. Something precious. Something real. I shall pluck it from your mind like a ripe berry, and you shall never taste it again. His face, maybe? His voice? A moment shared in battle. You will not even know what you have lost, only that a piece of him is gone from you forever. And she watches with amusement, eyes flicking towards Splug, Rezel, and the Blacklight in particular, savoring their hesitation. Or you have option 2. She holds out another long, gnarly finger. A favor owed. Perhaps you are not so eager to part with your grief. She shrugs. Very well, I'm not an unreasonable woman. Another bargain, then. A promise. I call it a favor. She taps a long, clawed nail against her chin. One of you must pledge to me, one day, at a time of my choosing, you would do something for me. It will not be today, perhaps not tomorrow, but when I call, you will answer.
Thank
And
you,
if
Godfather.
and if you refuse, then I shall take something of my own choosing instead. And her grin widens, enjoying the tension in the air as she lets the weight of uncertainty settle over the party. You mean to pause? Or you may keep going with their other options?
Keep going.
Growler's stance is firm.
Option 3, the voice of the dead. Or perhaps I take something else entirely. The last breath of your fallen knight, maybe? She reaches into the folds of her cloak and withdraws a small, cracked vial, its interior lined with a pulsing, blackened mist. Well, with this, I shall bottle a whisper of his soul. Oh, it will not harm him, don't worry. But it will take something from his take something, but it will take something from him nonetheless. And in return, I shall give you knowledge, a truth, something precious, something you did not know before. But beware, my dears, the truth is often far crueler than the lie. And her eyes flick toward Bryn and the blacklight, her grin growing wolfish. And then there's option 4. Sorry, go ahead.
Splug steps forward angrily and says, I will not have you desecrate the body of my friend. Period.
Her eyes glow yellow as they look at you, Splug. Her smile widens, showing the sharpened yellow teeth. Agatha said nothing about desecrating his body. You have nothing to worry about, my big Minotaur friend.
I would choose to give up my grief to save me from the anguish that I am suffering from if it gets us to our destination.
Give up your grief.
And Gralnar would like to yell at her and say, "Do you want to trade or not, witch?"
Ooh.
And he's going to intimidate the F out of her.
Oh, you are you? Okay, you can roll me an intimidation check. Whisper it to me.
All right.
This is where we all... No, it's the TPK.
Oh. Hey, just a second. I'm going to do one of these two. What am I doing? There we go.
What was that for?
I did a intimidation, and then I used my commanding presence battle maneuver to add a D8 to my charisma roll.
Just so we're clear, that doesn't require you to actually attack anything, correct?
It just says when you make a charisma intimidation or charisma performance or...
Okay, I'm with you. So roll it again, but whisper it to me.
Oh, no way. I didn't... That was whispered. God dang it.
Or you're going to roll an 8 now.
I really did. It's checked. Oh, because I didn't check it up here. Gosh dang it. All right.
Okay. Her eyes turn from yellow to green, and a scowl comes across her face. So this one thinks he has a bark. Perhaps we shall remedy that. And she points at you, and you turn into a small puppy.
Uh-uh.
I'm sorry, would you like to make a save?
Yeah, I think so.
Okay, it's a DC 25 wisdom save. Can you beat a 25?
Wisdom. Would you believe my character is super good at wisdom? In the new game.
Oh, in the new game.
In this game,
Okay.
not so much.
Well,
no, you're right. I turn. Funny thing is I turn.
Right.
Yeah.
She lets out a chuckle. Says, anyone else here care to try to scare old Agatha into anything that she doesn't want to do? Don't worry, my dears. I'll turn him back when we're done here. I just don't want to hear his voice in my ears anymore. And Gralnar, in your puppy form, you watch one of these big old frog dudes kind of look towards you, and you see it has a tongue that just kind of it's like darting just ever so slightly just out the corner of its mouth.
Mm-hmm.
Shall I continue? Go ahead.
I'm gonna start barking at Splug until he bends down and lets me jump up on Helmet's chest.
Splug picks him up by the scruff of the neck and puts him on Helmet's chest. He's up in my arms now.
Is he potty trained?
All right.
I hope so. But if he's on Helmet, that's Helmet's problem.
Well,
wow.
Helmet's dead. I'm trying to stay not dead.
Okay. So now she continues on. So if I may continue, or you have a fourth option. See? Agatha's generous with her options. She's not railroading you into just one decision. Or, she says, running a finger along her lips as she eyes the party, the Blacklight in particular, one of you bears the touch of something otherworldly, the Fae's mark. She gestures toward Bryn and the Blacklight, her gaze lingering on them with a greedy hunger. Give me a piece of yourself, A drop of blood, a lock of hair, a whisper of your very shadow. Just a sliver, just a taste, and I shall take you where you wish to go. And she sighs, dreamy and wistful, as if already savoring the bargain. Ah, how delicious it would be. Agatha leans back, folding her hands over her bony knees, watching them like a spider waiting for a fly to step onto its web. So, what shall it be? Will you give me a memory, a promise, a whisper of the dead, or a taste of the Fae?
What do you guys think? I'm willing to give up the memory. Splug's willing to give up the memory. If that gets us to where we're going.
I say as long as she doesn't call you Petal, do whatever she asks.
Wow.
Wow.
Did everyone get that reference? I'm assuming
I
everyone
did
here has
not.
played Baldur's Gate, right?
I have not.
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh. I didn't hear it. What was?
What was Petal from?
Yeah.
The helmets, I shouldn't say helmet. Ryan said, as long as she doesn't call me Petal. There was a character in the game Baldur's Gate 3 of this.
Yep.
I can't remember if she was human or elvish to begin with, but she turns out she was a hag in the
Yep.
forest and like kept people prisoners and stuff. But she
Yeah.
called everybody
Oh.
Petal.
Yeah.
Okay. I didn't
Right.
finish the game, so
I think
She's pretty early on in the game. I didn't finish it either.
okay.
Splug's pretty distraught over Helmet's death, and he's willing to give up his memory.
Like your memory of Helmet altogether, or memory of the fight? What are you saying?
A memory. I'll give up a memory, like a memory of the last battle where he died. If that'll work.
This is the way that hags work. You're not going to get to choose which memory.
Oh.
Gonna be the reason you turned green.
Yeah. No,
Is that what you're offering, Slug? Because she will, like Bryn said, she'll say, "So that's an interesting memory. Perhaps that's the one I would choose."
Yeah. That's the one I'm offering is when I turned Helmet green for a long time.
She's not going to take what's convenient
I
for
know.
you to forget.
I know. No, I'll put up whatever. I'll roll the dice, whatever we got to do.
So just so we're clear, I'm putting all in the open. So you're clear with her taking some memory from you. You have no control over what memory she takes.
It'd be a
Of
memory of Helmet, though, right? Or could it be anything?
Let me go back and reread it. What did it say for the memory?
It said a memory of Helmet, I believe.
That was option 1. Yeah, memory of Helmet. The following one you carry, there's a weight in that loss. Yes, a sorrow that lingers. I could lighten it. I could take it away. One of you must give me a memory of him, something precious, something real, and I shall pluck it from your mind. So, not necessarily a bad memory.
Yeah.
That makes it sound more like it's going to be something that you don't want to let go.
Gotcha. Okay. Well, what other options do we want to do, guys?
Well, there's no way that Bryn knows what hags do with things like drops of blood and things like that. That's just not going to happen.
What about the breath?
Well,
Do
next
we
time
actually
fight
need her?
Helmet. Yeah, we could just say, "Fuck it, let's walk."
Mm-hmm.
It's another option.
Yeah, I mean, if she doesn't want to do business with us,
She
I
wants
mean,
to do business. It's whether we want to pay the
Offering.
cost.
Yeah. It's
Well-
offering up. It's just, do we want to risk it? Take the consequences.
or do we want to say, do you want to trade for gold? I know that's going to be more expensive, but I don't know what we need. So
Hags don't tend to haggle for gold. That's not. Think what her nature is. Her nature is to do things with what she's given.
yeah.
I mean, those of us that played Baldur's Gate 3, that's exactly what hags do.
So,
Yep.
just do you think giving up the memory is too risky?
No,
Out
I
of
think
all
the
the
memory is
things-
probably the least risky.
Yeah. And Splug's willing to do it. So, It's up to you guys. We have to decide as a group what we're going to do. But Splug's willing to give up the memory.
You guys good with that?
That sounds crazy to me, but I'm willing to go with the group.
Okay, I'm writing it down in my notebook.
Is that what we're
Splug
doing, guys?
gave up a precious memory.
Memory
Of-
is memory is the least
Wow.
of the least of the concerns in my
Yeah.
mind.
Same here.
Is that way we don't have fighting reanimated helmet later.
It's going to come back to haunt you either way, Gary. But it's
Yeah.
the least of the
And to be,
problematic.
to be perfectly honest with you guys, I have no idea what kind of mechanical effect it's going to have later on down the line, but I will figure out a way to weave it into the story.
Okay, remember, this is the character that put on the gold band on his arm to see if it would fit. This is the character that kicked or kissed the corpse in the coffin and brought it back to life and almost killed us. So I'm willing to give up the memory.
But you don't
Okay,
know
so-
what memory it is. Dun-dun-dun.
Bug's pretty dumb. There's like 7 memories in there. And 4 of them don't relate to helmets. So good luck, Hag. Happy hunting.
The goldfish.
All right, hold on a minute. I am typing. Hold on.
Bug's dumb as a shoe. Fish away in there, lady. You're not going to find much.
Yeah, if I put in the chat there is that we could have given her Growlner's thumb.
Well, she wanted a piece of the others, not Grelner.
I know. But
All right, so what's this horse deal? What are we getting in
Hold on a minute.
return?
I don't know, because ChatGPT is helping me out here. So let's see here. The air chills as Agatha leans forward from the shadows of her wagon, her silver eyes gleaming with unnatural light. Her voice is a whispered wrapped in frost, hurling around Splug's ears. How much does I want to share? Agatha extends a translucent, claw-like hand. The air bends around it, like glass warping in fire. I take it freely, yes? I will unmake it, yes. You will never recall it again, not even in dreams. Thank you, my Minotaur. And she
My name's Splug.
pulls her hand back, and then ChatGPT and I will have a more lengthy conversation on what exactly this may mean sometime later on in the campaign. With that, she is going to turn her attention to the Blacklight. Blacklight, you still there in the shadows? Did we lose Blacklight? Uh-oh.
yeah, he's not in.
David,
No, he's there.
are
He's
you
in the
asleep?
chat. He's just
Oh, no.
David.
Please don't tell me David fell asleep.
could be at the bathroom.
He's never done it before.
All right, so
Right.
we may have to retcon this back when he comes back. I'll give you the Cliff Note version since I'm not sure if David's asleep, lost his connection, or what something bad happened in Spain. What? No, we cannot hear you, David.
Is your headset muted? Because you're not muted in Discord. His headset. Yeah,
No,
check
no,
your
no,
headset.
no, no.
Check your mic.
Can he hear us?
He can
Yeah,
hear
can
us.
you hear us, Blacklight?
Okay. Well, at least he doesn't have to reread everything, rewatch it. He'll have most of it.
Okay. All right. So I'm going to talk, Blacklight, while you try to figure out what's going on with your microphone. So this is the same Agatha that stuck a tongue down your ears, remember? At that point, she was a little bit prettier to the eyes, but you see her now in her true form. But she reminds you of your previous conversation where you said you would be bringing her troll parts because she loved to make stuff out of troll parts. Okay? And
Hi,
unfortunately,
can you hear me?
hey, we hear you now.
Ah, sorry,
Hey.
sorry. Yeah, sorry. I thought you hear me all the time.
Were you saying something earlier? And we just weren't like ignoring you or what?
I said a lot of things, but I understand that you didn't hear me. But I okay.
All right, so this this is me trying to give you a way to uh, turn harvested things into something else. So mechanically wise, she is going to be your contact for converting things. Now, she won't be able to convert all things. There are certain things that you harvest that have a specific thing that can be made into, and those things will require, someone in an actual, civilized town or city to uh, transform, craft, or whatever. She specializes more in like consumable, one-time use things. So the way I'm going to work this, you guys are fighting all kinds of monsters that aren't in my table. So when that comes up, you harvest wherever you want. I will do a few rolls behind the DM screen whether or not they make something, and if they do, she'll be the one to convert it into something that's not on my table. Does that make sense?
Yes.
Okay. And for tonight's session, I am going to retcon and say not all your parts are rotten, but I have come up with a few things that the fire belcher can be crafted into. So let me go find this where she puts this proposal out to you. What is it? Fire belcher crafting offers. Agatha, the ever cunning merchant of the strange and powerful, inspects the fire belcher parts with relish, her long fingers caressing the still warm bone and glistening molten colored teeth. With a sly grin, she snaps her fingers, summoning an array of eerie tools, a bubbling cauldron, a bone-etched mortar and pestle, a twisted glass vial filled with flickering embers. And she tells you, these hold power, yes. But power is meant to burn, to burst, to consume. You want a taste of the fire's might? I might allow a taste that you must use wisely, or watch it slip from your grasp, never to be seen again. With a wicked cackle, she offers to turn one of the fire belcher remains into a single-use magical item, infused with the beast's smoldering essence. So I'm not going to tell you what each of the things do. But you need to tell me what you want to, which of these items you want to her to turn something into. You can use the horn, or you can get another item with the eyes. You can get a different thing with 6 of the teeth. You get a different thing with 12 of the teeth. Or you can get something different with the skull. So horn, eyes, 6 teeth, 12 teeth, or the skull. Which one of those
Skull.
would you like to give her to convert into
I
something?
want to try the skull.
Okay. Again, these are all going to be a single-use type of thing, consumable like a potion. And she takes it from you. And then she's also going to give you 2 more items as actually, before she does that, I forgot this part. So as an agreement with this pact with her, she needs to give you a mark. That way she has a way of returning these items to you, unless you want to trudge into the swamp and find her every single time you want to do an exchange. Do you falter? Do you say no to this mark that she wants to give you?
Oh no, yeah.
Just a tattoo. I'd do it.
Know what you're doing? Blacklight?
Yeah.
Okay.
Sure.
All right, so again, you see her hands turn this translucent color, and she reaches out and asks you to hold out your forearm. You don't need to do harvesting tools yet.
Yeah. Oh, sorry.
And she places a long, translucent gnarled finger onto your forearm, and you see a strange-looking rune form on your forearm. She goes,
Okay.
"This, my dearie, my pedal, if you prefer, will allow you and I to negotiate, to exchange items for items, or perhaps more, or whatever I may ask for. Again, I do not ask for gold, but here's what we shall do." And where is it? Let's see here.
Is it possible to recover the Moran's Eye before we leave?
Recover what?
The Moran's Eye. The whatever
Oh no,
Morana.
that got destroyed in the cauldron.
Ah, okay, okay.
Yeah, when I
Everything
got
was
tossed.
destroyed.
Okay, let's see here. With a sharp-toothed grin, she produces a strange, ancient tome from within the folds of her tattered robes. Its cover is weathered black with veins of twisting, pulsating gold inlay, like the fossilized remains of something long dead, yet still breathing. She says, "A traveler like you, yes, a seeker of things hidden, lost, and buried. I see it in your hands, in your eyes, and the things you choose to take. Taking is one thing, keeping is another." She holds out this tome, forever now called the Blood Sworn Ledger, its binding creaking like old bones as she runs a withered claw across the cover. She says, "You gather the pieces of the world, little morsels of power, but power must be shaped. You wish to make use of what you collect? Then this is your answer." She does not let it go immediately. Instead, her fingers tighten slightly like talons curling upon prey. She tells you, "The ledger does not forget. It does not lose. It does not misplace. You write within it, and I will know. You feed the maw, and I will receive." Don't worry, Black. I'm going to put all this in a handout for you. And then, as if the air itself shifts, she pulls another object from beneath her cloak. A small, withered leather sack that wasn't there before. It seems to breathe. The thing quivers faintly, its mouth sewn shut with twisting black thread, edges curling and pulsing with a slow, rhythmic motion, as if waiting to be fed. And she says, "The hollow maw, a portal, a pathway, a hungry little thing. You place what you harvest inside, and it will find me, wherever I may be." She chuckles softly, tapping the ledger once more. "A simple trade, yes? A fair exchange. I craft for you, and in return, I take a price." And her grin widens, too many teeth showing. "But don't fret, Dark One. The price is never more than you can bear." The air is thick with tension, not from a threat, but from the unshakable sense that something larger is moving beneath the surface of this deal. The ledger waits. The hollow maw breathes. And in the depths of the Blacklight's mind, a whisper, not Agatha's voice, but something deeper, something older, urges him to accept. All that makes sense to you, Blacklight?
Of course.
Okay, here is the Blood Sworn Ledger. I'm pretty sure I can show this to everybody. Do you want me to show this to everybody? You only want me to show it to you, Blacklight. What it does.
No,
It's
show
based,
it to everybody.
okay, it's basically a magic item. Show to everyone. So, let me give you the Cliff Note version. So, as you harvest stuff, you basically write into this ledger what you have harvested, and then the ink disappears, and Agatha sees it. And then she will write back on her matching ledger her response and what the price will be to convert that to something. When you have agreed upon the price, you take the items, and then you'll put it into the hollow maul, which is another item I'm going to share with you. That's that living, breathing bag that she showed you. So basically, you take the harvest parch, you put it inside this, and then it's like a portal gateway. It gets teleported to her. She crafts what she can from it, and she'll put it back into this, and it'll basically regurgitate it sometime later. I think it's like 1d4 days in the future is when you get this thing back. I don't expect you to understand it completely, but this is how, moving forward, we're going to try to resolve the whole harvesting parts and how you can possibly turn something into something else.
Good.
She's like Amazon.
But better.
Mm-hmm.
Splug is not allowed anywhere near the Hollow Maw.
Why? That
And so,
doesn't sound very trustworthy.
and
The,
just
the
so
way it
we're
was described.
go ahead.
No, sorry. The way it was described, Splug's not allowed anywhere near it.
She tells you that basically you are now bound to this ledger and this hollow maw as long as you bear that mark. She tells you the pages never run out. Its contents, when she writes back, is always written in a script he will always understand, even if the language changes. Let's see, what else does she tell you? The hollow maw needs to be fed on a pretty regular basis. It twitches when he needs to feed it. Oh, and I got to whisper one more thing to you, Blacklight. So I will put this in the Roll20 chat.
Good.
Every third time you use it, somebody dies.
See that in Roll20 chat, Blacklight?
Yeah.
How you
Yeah,
like
I
that?
see.
We all warm and fuzzy now?
Right?
Okay, so for now, she will take, you said the skull, right? Is that what you gave her to convert to something?
Yep.
Okay. She tells you to look for the results in 1 to 4 days as it regurgitates out the hollow maw bag you have. Okay. With that, and she now has Splug's memory tucked away somewhere in the dark. She begins weaving her spell as a glowing green portal opens before you. She kind of glances down at Gralnar the puppy. She says, "Would you like to stay a puppy for a while, my peddle?"
um,
I'm
Can
not sure
I-
I'm not sure how you can answer, other than like maybe shaking your head. Yes or
Yeah.
no?
how about I do a little doggy performance for no? Can I do that?
You want to say no?
Yes.
No,
wanna-
he
you
doesn't
wanna-
want to stay a doggy.
You want to stay a puppy?
No, he
No,
doesn't.
no. She asked, "Do I still want to stay a puppy?"
Oh, okay. Sorry, I missed it.
Isn't that what she asked?
It may have been,
Yeah.
Okay. Okay, because
or
that's why I
maybe
said.
she only hears what she wants to hear, like Ryan does.
But yeah, I'd like to do a performance check as what I would think a dog would look like if it was saying no.
He's gonna pee a little.
Okay, you're risking
I
failing
gotta-
this. You know that, Gralnar, right?
Yeah. Well, all I need her to do is recognize it, and I think she's so good at charisma that she'll she'll recognize it because I bet she recognizes,
Right now.
all of them.
Yep.
That's her job.
So as long as you don't roll a 1 through 5, you're probably good. So
Okay.
roll me a
So,
performance check if
charisma.
you want.
Huh?
Performance, if you have it. If you're not
Performance.
skilled in
Okay.
performance, you can do a charisma.
Yeah, I got.
And you got to whisper. I guess it doesn't matter if you whisper to him or not, because everyone's going to know.
Okay,
Open.
here it comes. Performance and charisma are the same, so. Boop. And I'm gonna use my another one of my.
You only had to beat 5. You don't need it.
Oh, you're right. Sorry, thank you.
She looks at the rest of the party as she kind of reaches one hand out towards the little puppy. Says, I've always been more of a cat person myself. And she'll boop the doggy on his nose, and Gralnar will back into his full self. Are you still sitting on Helmet's chest?
I guess I would be, but I'd jump. Well, because now I'm back, right?
Yeah, you are back.
Okay, I'm gonna jump down. I'm gonna hold my shield a little tighter, and then I'm gonna go to the furthest part of the party away from her.
Well, that's a good question, Gralnar. The hand that lost a thumb, was that your shield hand or your hammer hand?
We never rolled for it, and I figured that should be a rollable incident, huh?
I think that's a fudge dice thing.
Okay, so which do you prefer? Let's put it that way.
Oh, I would definitely prefer my shield hand.
Your shield hand to be the one with the lost thumb?
Yeah.
Okay, so it's going to be a 60-40 rule. Roll me a D100, 1 through 60, it is your shield hand. If it's
Okay.
61 or higher, it's going to be your hammer hand.
Oh, man.
To you?
Make it out in the opening if we're going to know.
Okay. A D100.
Ooh, you're close. All right, so as you morph back into Gralnar and you go to grasp your shield, you forget you don't have a thumb, and it kind of swings around on your arm and like it's facing the wrong way.
All right.
Well, you're back to yourself again.
Thank you.
Is
And
everyone
yeah, he's been chastised, and he's going to get as far away from this hag as he can. He doesn't want anything to do with her.
Maybe she's powerful enough to reattach your thumb.
Well, don't care. Yeah, we're good.
So one last thing she does before you guys all line up to exit through the portal. She transforms herself back into the beautiful young maiden that you guys first saw her, and she leans out the edge of her wagon, kind of making eye contact with the black light. And she says, "One more kiss for the road, dearie."
Of course, baby.
Nice. I thought
So-
Splug was a hoe.
So she's like going for like a kiss on the mouth this time. Are you open to that, Blacklight?
Absolutely.
You already
Do it,
know how
do it.
you already know how long her tongue is.
Actually, I'm willing to that.
Yeah.
You see her eyes get wide and they turn yellow, like just for a split second, like she's somewhat surprised at this. And as you get, I'd say you're within like maybe like an inch of your mouths touching. You can see her grotesque, like green tongue has like warts all over it, kind of slowly coming out of her mouth like a snake. And then you feel it on the back of your throat as you guys embrace.
I think I love her.
You're awesome. You're awesome.
First person to love so much.
As you pull back, she takes the back of her hand, wipes like the corner of her mouth. So, my dearie, perhaps I'll have to put you in that mall sometime.
Like
Can I
her
hug her? I want to hug.
Until we meet again, Dark One. Farewell.
I wonder if he smudged his makeup.
Little
Think he ha-
lipsticks right there.
He has a different kind of makeup around his mouth right now.
Yeah.
All right, so we have that set up. Okay,
Easy, baby.
now you're going back to Kaerndahl Hall. I think I had a thing here when you guys come back.
Did I have a goodbye kiss?
That was your goodbye kiss.
That was
my
your
friend.
goodbye kiss.
Oh,
She-
perfect.
She put her tongue in the back of your throat. That big, nasty green looking, looked more like a root with a bunch of warts on it than it did a tongue.
You know what? To each their own. But also stay away from me.
Okay. Moving on. Oh man, I don't have any of my background music. What the hell is wrong with me, man?
We look back and the black light standing there smoking, having a smoke. He's just got this complacent look in his eyes, like he's just been satisfied.
Let's see, what music do I want to do? Let's just do some. With the poem
70s
coming.
porn. 70s porn.
You want happy or you want spooky? You guys tell me. Or travel. Traveling music, happy music, or spooky music? What do you guys prefer?
Travel.
You are the
Benny
master.
Hill theme. Benny Hill theme.
I don't know what happy music I have in here. Oh, it's like you're at a circus or something there. There you go. There's your happy music. Okay. Now back to Kaerndahl Hold. Scrolling, scrolling, scrolling. Okay, you guys appear on a ridge just north of Kaerndahl Hold. As a party gets their first sight of Kaerndahl's Hold over the ridge. The autumn wind howls across the river valley as a party crests the final ridge, giving them their first clear view of Kaerndahl Hold. What was once a sturdy bastion of civilization in the wilds is now lies in ruins. The devastation is immediate and unmistakable. The outer walls, once proud and stalwart, are now shattered and blackened, their defenses reduced to rubble beneath the fury of the troll army. Scars of fire and claw marks of the earth. The marketplace, once alive with trade and chatter, is a field of ash and silence, littered with the bones of charred stalls and broken carts. From your vantage point north of the hold, you see that the inner wall still stands, cracked and pitted, but holding. Within, thin pillars of gray smoke rise from cook fires, pyres, and collapsed buildings. The river below flows sluggishly past the island fort, its waters dark and murky, reflecting the sullen sky. You're too late to stop the destruction. You knew that before you arrived, but seeing it, truly seeing it, drives it deeper. And then there's the weight of what they carry. Helmut Erovar, Paladin of Helm, had fallen in battle, his final act a sacrifice to destroy Vardar, the reborn Troll King, and to ensure the Stone Cauldron's power would never rise again. He died with purpose, fulfilling the promise he made to protect the people of Kaerndahl Hold. Now, his lifeless form rests upon a litter, carried between Grolnar and Splug. His armor, though battered, still gleams faintly in the pale light. A cloak of solemn silence hangs over the party. They have returned victorious, yes, but not whole. At the shattered gate of the inner hold, a few figures stir. Survivors, lean, bruised, and tired. They work to rebuild what little remains. One of them, a grizzled watchman with a limp and a bloodied scarf around his head, looks up. He freezes, eyes wide. "They're back!" he calls out, his voice hoarse with disbelief. More heads turn. A ripple spreads among the survivors. Relief spreads until they see what the heroes carry. A few gasps escape. One woman, hand over her mouth, drops to her knees. A child clutches her arm, asking a question no one wants to answer. The people begin to gather at the edge of the square, near the breach in the walls. Some are crying. Some are simply silent. Others stand tall, saluting the fallen warrior who kept his word until the very end. Helmut has come home, and with him, so has a legacy of sacrifice, duty, and devotion that will not be forgotten. When the party returns to the Kaerndahl Hold gate, you find backs standing at the ruined outer gates. You guys all remember Bax? He was the Dragonborn drunk you guys first met when he came to Kaerndahl Hold. He's flanked by a line of weary, grim-faced militia. The Dragonborn warrior, once heavy with sorrow and drink, now bears the look of a hardened leader. His scales are scorched, his armor battered, but his eyes hold a steady fire. As he sees the party crest the ridge, his expression flickers between relief and pain until he sees what you carry. Helmet's body, wrapped in a cloak, borne between two companions. The paladin's armor, though scorched and bloodied, still glints faintly in the pale daylight. Back steps forward slowly, jaw clenched, his voice low and rough. Helm, guide him. He bows his head. A long silence passes before he lifts it again to face the party. You made it back. I won't lie. I wasn't sure we'd live long enough to see you again. Kaerndahl Hold still stands, but just barely. His gaze lingers on Helmet, then shifts across the survivors. Gralnar, Rezel, the Black Light, Splug, Bryn, each marked by the fire and the shadow of the battles they've endured. Max turns to you, no one in particular. Your victory over Skalmald saved this place. I don't know what dark forces you face down there, but if he's truly gone, then so is the thing that nearly ended us. He turns slightly, looking toward the broken skyline of the town. You weren't here for the siege, but your fight ended it. And Helmet, his voice falters just for a breath, Helmet made sure it stayed ended. He clears his throat and gestures gently towards the inner courtyard. Elmira's in the chapel, still standing somehow. She's been tending to the wounded, calming the frightened, keeping the rest of us focused. She wanted, and he pauses, looking each of you in the eye. She wants to thank you, all of you, for what you did, and for what he gave. Then Bax's tone shifts slightly, as if remembering something unusual. Also, there's someone else you might want to meet. A halfling woman, name's Nenny. Showed up just before the siege. No one saw her come through the gates. No one knows where she came from. Just appeared at the edge of the fort one morning, soaked from the river mist. He frowns, voice cautious but respectful. She was looking for Helmet. Didn't say why. When the trolls came, she stayed by the chapel and fought like a bolt from the heavens. Never wavered. She's still here. Finally, Bax turns to the Black Light, his voice quieter but urgent. But tell me, please, did you finish it? Is Skalmald truly gone? Did you stop whatever it was that brought that ancient horror back? There's hope in his question, but beneath it, the weight of survival, grief, and the desperate need for something solid to believe in. Kaerndahl Hold has lived through this darkest night. Now it looks to the dawn, to those who made it possible. And from here, we're going to introduce Ryan's new character. So, Ryan, if you'd like to introduce Nenny to the party, how would you greet them? I'll leave it to you.
Hey guys. Sorry, my wife's standing right next to me. Hang on.
Wife aggro. It'd be funny if he was like, that was literally the introduction. Hey guys.
So,
Nenny Glowheart was born in the bustling city of Telflam, a place where opportunity and danger walk hand in hand. Orphaned at a young age, she quickly learned that life was a struggle. Roaming the streets, she quickly learned the vibrant marketplaces were both playground and her classroom, where she picked up the art of observation, the skills of a con artist, and the craft of thievery. Over the years, Nenny formed a bond with a group of street urchins, teaching them to fend for themselves. They became her family, and together they committed petty thefts to survive. Nenny's leadership and quick thinking earned her a reputation as a skilled thief. She focused on targeting the wealthy and corrupt, redistributing the spoils among the less fortunate. One night, while attempting to pickpocket a well-dressed noblewoman, Nenny was caught. Expecting punishment, she was instead approached by the noblewoman, who revealed herself to be a retired master thief named Alara. Recognizing Nenny's potential, she offered her a choice: serve as her apprentice or face the authorities. Nenny chose the former, learning the intricacies of the trade and the ethics of stealing from those who abuse their power. Years later, with Alara's guidance, Nenny grew into a skilled and cunning thief, but she also developed a deeper sense of justice. She began targeting corrupt officials and greedy merchants. However, Alara's sudden disappearance during a heist sparked a burning desire for answers. Nenny now seeks to uncover the truth behind her fate while navigating the dangerous underworld she knows so well. And on to today and her connection to Helmet. Years ago in Helflam, Helmet intervened when he saw the city guard beating one of Nenny's friends for stealing food. Violence against children is never justified. Violence against someone stealing to survive is not justice. That moment stuck with her. Helmet as the second authority figure who displayed mercy instead of judgment. Later, her mentor Alara mentioned Helmet's name, implying that he had unknowingly crossed paths with a powerful criminal network she was investigating. When Alara disappeared, Nenny followed her only clue, Helmet's last known location, Kaerndahl Hold. And that's it so far.
Cool.
Any greetings or anything you want to say to the group as you see them come through the gates, or
Carrying your mentor, what do we call it? Not quite mentor, but you know what I mean.
Your clue.
Sorry, say that again?
to me or to Anthony?
Oh, what was the question?
We came, we came through carrying Helmet's body. You were looking for Helmet.
Yes, so Nenny recognizes the group immediately and demands to speak with Helmet, and then learns she's dead. It hits her hard. He's supposed to be a key to her investigation to find her missing master Alara, and now another person that she's cared about is gone. She doesn't want his death to be in vain, so Nenny's going to offer to help the party however she can, both as a way to honor his memory and because she has no other leads left.
Okay.
Would Helmet want to be interred anywhere?
Go ahead.
I was going to say a simple burial would suffice.
Okay.
So that's going to be like meta knowledge, but I've got something in the works for how we handle that.
Okay, that's fair.
Unless you're saying he left that in his will, Helmet. Did he specify in his will where or how he wanted to be buried or whatever?
They had wills back? Okay. Never mind.
I believe Helmet would refer to his corpse as an empty shell that can be disposed of as such. However, for the survivors, I think a burial would suffice.
Okay. So I'm trying to see if I put in my notes here somewhere his will, or if I was going to leave that up to you about how they found it and what's in it. I don't think I have that in my notes. His will.
No, so just some further role play when Nenny approaches Helmet's corpse, places her hand upon Helmet, notices a scroll that's kind of a parchment kind of tucked in to his armor that wasn't previously noted. So Nenny takes it out and reads it and gets a bit of a lump in her throat and passes the note to Bryn to read and says, I think this note was meant to be for you guys, the group. So Rob, if I paste what I had written in chat, could you read it out?
Sure.
Okay, I'm going to paste it in the group chat. There's a couple of them, so just read it as I post it.
Oh, you put in Discord?
Yep, first one's in first part's there.
Okay.
My friends, you're reading this because I am dead. I knew entering the Troll King's lair that I would not be leaving alive. Helm came to me in a vision and said, "My child, your work here is almost complete. I have but one more task for you. End the life of the foul Troll King, Vard, and destroy his stone cauldron. Do this and you shall ascend your mortal form to join me in the light." My task clear? Stop it. My task clear, and its outcome revealed to me, I have no choice but to venture forth. Fear of death is irrelevant. Only the will of Helm matters. If we are to defeat this monster, I shall ensure that my life is the only one forfeit. I take one last glimpse of the sun and one last lungful of fresh air before descending into the darkness. Oh, I'm going to punch all of you. Stop typing into chat while I'm trying to read from chat.
What?
It makes the whole thing move and I lose my place. Stop it.
Oh, you're in Discord. I was like, what is he talking about? It's on the Discord side. I'm like, what the fuck is he saying?
Yeah.
Gary, I'm going to punch you right in the face.
You didn't do anything. You didn't do
You are
anything.
typing. I can see that you're typing.
I'm not. I fixed the key on my keyboard.
They
I
appear
accidentally
anxious,
typed.
but they are steadfast and brave and know that their task ahead is a righteous one. They are trustworthy and will perform their duty well. They always do. If this is the end for me, I can think of no others I would wish to spend it with. Yes, today is a good day to die. Gralnar, whose bravery is second only to his stubbornness, I leave to you my ring. May it protect you as it protected me. Ring of protection, +1, requires attunement. To Black Light, your cause is just, even if your methods are questionable. I leave you my cloak. May it protect you. To Rezal,
No, and I protect you.
To Rezal, a gifted healer and trusted friend, I leave you my granite Ioun stone. With it, you shall shrug off all but the most vicious blows. To Splug, whose heart is bigger than his brain. That's true. We measured it. We had him tested.
Right.
You are always the first into battle and the last one out, often to your own detriment. I leave you my armor, for you will need it in the battle ahead. But it will not fit you as is, nor should it. I know you will take it to a blacksmith, and I know you will forge something greater from it. Use Acrius, one of my finest blades, to shape the steel. Let it become something new, something that fits you. Because you are not meant to follow in anyone's footsteps, not even mine. You were made to carve your own path. To Bryn, I leave you something that you cannot use in any ever way. Not to wield, but to sacrifice. It is a weapon of justice and the object through which I channeled my retribution. Take the sword, offer it to your queen, and let it become something else. Let it become the shadow at your back, a promise that vengeance does not end at death. Lastly, I do not know where your paths will lead, but know this. If you are still standing, still fighting, then you're exactly where you're meant to be. My fight is over. Yours is not. Keep going. Helmet, Erovar.
Hey, Rob.
Yep.
Do you feel bad for that snark about the greatsword after you read the sentence following it?
Nope, not at all.
Something I can't use ever. I mean it for you to use for this. Oh.
I'm doing
Thanks, Rob.
quite golf clap here in the background. That was very nice, Ryan.
Yeah.
I like that very much.
Well done. Inspiration card.
Yeah.
You get an inspiration card. You get an inspiration card because we're not fighting in this game anymore.
No. Brian. Helmet gets an inspiration card.
Of course he does.
But he's dead.
Yeah, exactly.
Sorry.
That was the point.
All right, so a few notable things about the town. Let's see here. Among the dead is Mayor Kilana. I don't know if you guys, that's the first woman you met when you came into town. And also, Durgan has fallen. That was Gralnar's friend that you guys met in the Inner Sanctum, the library. He also fell. Of those that survived, the former member of Thurin's warband, Bax, was the key to holding out. Bax fought bravely and led several counterattacks that kept the Inner Sanctum section of the city as the last refuge. The town priest, Elmira, also survived. She kept many a soldier alive and prayed over many as they crossed the Bridge of Swords. An Eladrin emissary also survived. His tactical mind helped many of the Eladrin brothers in arms survive. In total, only 20 of the 120 residents remain alive in the Inner Sanctum. Some may have fled before or during the raids, but no one can be sure. Elmira is now the unofficial mayor. Vax has been called upon to captain the handful of Adrian warriors and militia that survived. And the party receives a earnest thanks for their part in seeking out and killing Skalmod. In addition, the Eladrin emissary offers a gift to the party, a suit of Sylvan armor from one of their fallen comrades. So this is where we get to roll for rarity. I guess I still have the hollow thing and the Bloodsworn Ledger on my screen. Sylvan armor. Let's see here. Roll for rarity. Who would like to roll for the rarity of this?
Someone who actually uses it.
Well, I don't know what's Sylvan armor.
Yeah, is
It's a
heavy?
leather armor.
Oh,
Oh, I'll roll for that.
Yeah. Go for it.
I would like a leather armor.
D100.
Hold on a minute. I'm reading this.
No, you roll it because my look is so bad, but I would like that.
Hey, you just got the cloak of protection.
No.
Yeah, D100.
And all I got was this damn shirt. Oh, Lord. Oh.
That's hard. Oh,
Okay, so you guys are higher level, and I'm going to fudge that roll and make it a rare item. Show the players.
Right.
weak.
Goes +1 armor, and you get a +1 to athletics and stealth. Does not require attunement.
oh, that's actually not bad then for that. I mean,
Wow.
except for the and it's
That's
leather, so
awesome.
it's
That is awesome.
So either add it in loot bag, or I guess you and Blacklight can do a roll off, unless you guys come to agreement.
so it's AC at 12.
Correct.
Wizard battle. Wizard battle.
Flap your bed sheets. That's basically what
awesome.
we're wearing now, right?
Yeah.
Roll it.
You can have it, David.
Yeah, sorry. Let me give me a second.
No need to roll. You can have it.
Yeah.
Oh, really?
Oh yeah.
Good. Thank you, everybody.
Well.
Okay, next up, I've got set up here called Helmet's Vigil.
Sorry.
Always with the harvesting with this guy.
As you
I
guys,
just
you really want to harbor something, don't you, David?
no, because sorry. I just was clicking away.
Are there
think-
are there dead trolls and whatnot?
No, throughout the carnage,
Yeah.
I'll say
Or did
most
they
of
already
the
clean 'em up?
most of the dead trolls have been piled up outside the city gates onto a pyre that was burning. That was be one of the little smoke plumes you see rising up on one side or the other of the city.
Yeah.
Right, what are you hoping to do with that?
No, I was just curious. I didn't know if the Blacklight was going to start harvesting some of that shit.
Probably so.
I just was, I just was waiting for a cue.
Because you guys are carrying Helmut's body through the gates into the side, and Blacklight just kind of nonchalantly kind of slips away, and you see him outside. His head and knees are buried inside some big burnt troll corpse.
Slaying trolls.
All right, so Elmira, again, the de facto new mayor, greets you guys with Helmut's body, and she offers to take his body and place it within the ruins of the chapel. But there are a few read aloud texts here. By the way, as I'm going through this, is this like boring the shit out of you guys? You may keep going with this, or
no, it's good. It's
Keep
good.
going, yeah.
The music isn't quite matching the seriousness, but otherwise, yes.
okay? Let me switch to something.
Hey, Brian.
Yep.
Well, since we've been in town as a military person, Grelnar would like to visit the town guard or the town armory or whatever it is, and go talk with the person in charge, just
Well,
to see.
Bax is the
What-
one that's in charge of the militia right now. That was the Dragonborn that met you at the gate.
Okay. So, what do we need to help with anything? What do we need to do?
Give me a chance to read through everything I'm gonna relate to you guys, and I'm gonna open it up. You guys can then do whatever you want. Is that okay?
Yep.
Okay, let's see. Just trying to find a different music to play. I have no idea what these sound like, but
It's like your friend's dead. La, la,
that still sounds. What's this one? Let's see what this one is. Well, that sounds exciting music. That's not what we want for him being dead. Let's see. What is this one? That might be appropriate.
Sure.
We'll run with that one for a while.
That's good. Yeah, it's a much lesser tempo than the happy.
All right, Elmira approaches you guys and tells you the gods are not driven by haste. The sentinel deserves more than a grave dug in a war's aftermath. There are those, she says, there are those traveling still, those who loved him or owed him their lives. We wait because we must. And she also says the elven kin from the south may come. They'll take him where he asked to go. We owe him that much. And though the chapel of the three was destroyed in the siege, its roof collapsed and altars shattered, the people of Kaerndahl hold, gather in its ruins to honor Helmut Erovar. Elmira, the surviving priestess, insists that the place still holds sanctity. It was hallowed by devotion, not stone, she says. Helmut's body is placed beneath the broken archway where the altar once stood, laid on a platform fashioned from salvaged timbers and scorched stone. He is covered with a white cloth, resting on a bed of river reeds, evergreen boughs, and flower petals gathered by survivors. Each night, candles are placed in the rubble, one for every life Helmut helped save. The soft glow flickers against broken walls and blackened wood, casting long shadows that dance across his shroud. Townsfolk keep vigil in quiet shifts, not to guard his body, but to witness his peace. They bring tokens, a child's wooden carving, a battered militia badge, a raven feather tied with twine. Elmira encourages the vigil to continue for 3 nights, giving time for others to arrive and for something greater to be prepared. All right, so PC-specific
Brian,
epilogue. Yes, go ahead.
I prepared a eulogy.
Ooh.
Sweet.
There's more coming.
Okay, so when it comes time, I prepared a eulogy.
Okay, yeah, I prepped you guys. I got a spot where that will come up. Right now, she's just holding this vigil for waiting for something better to be prepared. Okay. All right, so PC-specific epilogue events that I have, me and chat, I now call Opal, prepared for you guys. Ralnar, on this first day you come back, she approaches you and shares the story of Durgan's last words with you. As Durgan lay dying on the battlefield, his breath ragged and his strength fading, he grasped Elmira's hand with surprising firmness. Blood stained his beard, but his eyes, through weary, held warmth. I forget, he spoke like Mike Tyson, right? All right, this is going to be some kind of anti-mushy. Elmira, when you see Gralnar, tell him he was always the fiercest warrior I ever knew. But more than that, he was a brother to me. A stubborn, thick-skulled, but a brother all the same. He gave a weak... Oh, sorry, that's not him talking. He gave a weak chuckle, wincing at the pain. He shifted slightly, grimacing, and with a shaking hand he pulled something from beneath his tunic. A small iron token, shaped like a clenched dwarven fist, worn smooth from years of handling. Durgan coughs. Give him this. My father gave it to me when I was young. Said it was a reminder that no dwarf stands alone. If Gronar is still standing, and so am I. His fingers went slack, his breath fading. Elmira whispered a prayer as Durgan crossed the bridge of swords, his spirit carried beyond. and she presents to you this small token that he wanted to give to you, called the Iron Fist token.
Ooh, wondrous.
Give you guys a minute to read that if you want.
Yeah.
That's kind of dope.
Brothers in Arms is a pretty cool ability.
Yeah, that is. It's actually the protection clerics or protection paladins feat.
So, Grana, you let me know when you're done reading that, and I'll move on to the next one.
Okay.
Are you good?
Yeah.
Okay. Oh, man, my music stopped. What the hell?
Oh.
What the hell, Row 20? There we go. It's back. Bryn, also on day one. As the party passes through the broken gates of Kaerndahl Hold, Bryn lingers at the rear, her eyes scanning the scorched buildings, the hollow alleys, the broken silhouettes of what was once a living town. The ash in the air settles like dust on her shoulders, but there's something more than sorrow here. She feels it before she sees it. A presence, watching, waiting. Her gaze is drawn to a ruined building across the courtyard, a former home, its upper floor collapsed, roof caved in. Perched silently atop a fractured wooden beam is a raven, black as night, unmoving. Its eyes glint like polished obsidian as it stares directly at her. Then, with a whisper of wings, another raven lands beside it. Then another. Then dozens more, their feathers shivering in the wind, the presence suddenly but undeniably deliberate. A chill passes over Bryn's skin. Not cold, but something older, familiar, inevitable. Whoop, didn't mean to turn it down so much. One raven, larger than the others, hops forward. In its beak is a tightly wound scroll sealed with black wax, stamped with the faint imprint of a raven's head in profile, the mark of the Raven Queen. The raven drops the scroll at her feet. Then, in perfect synchrony, every bird takes flight, their wings erupting in a single thunderous burst of movement that sends a wave of wind through the square. Within seconds, the sky is empty once more, the silence sharper than before. Bryn kneels, picks up the scroll, and breaks the seal. The parchment within is cool to the touch, the ink a deep violet that seems to shimmer faintly in the dim light. The message, penned in elegant, angular script, reads, "The veil thins. The lost one lingers. Shadows do not rest. Seek the echo before it calls another. Her will is not yet done." I'll put this in chat for you if you want. Paste. As she finishes reading, Bryn feels a tremor ripple through the air, a faint breeze that smells of grave moss and cold stone, like the breath of the Shadowfell itself. And somewhere, just for a heartbeat, she hears a second flutter of wings behind her. Not in the sky, not in the wind. Within. The Raven Queen is silent as ever, but her message is clear. The dead are not finished speaking, and Bryn must listen before the next voice is lost to darkness. And she ponders this revelation. She notices something glinting beside the scroll. A delicate obsidian feather hanging from a silver chain. And she gets a magic item called the obsidian feather. Show it to everyone.
Oh, wow.
Oh, that's sweet.
Nice.
That is
Except it
Kinda
requires attunement,
oh,
and that sucks.
it's a Bryn only item. Yep. So
Wow.
You good reading that, Bryn?
That is
Yeah.
pretty sweet, though.
reforms on Dawn. That Queen's Aegis. Yeah, that is actually kind of sweet. It's not gone forever.
Okay, so also on day 1. Next up is Rezel.
Hey.
As Rezel walks through the shattered streets of Kaerndahl Hold, the weight of the siege settles in his chest. The destruction is overwhelming. Ruined homes, scorched earth, and the hollow gazes of survivors who had clung to life while he and the others had been away. He should have been here. But it isn't just the devastation that troubles him. It's Vardar. The reborn Troll King was an abomination, a mockery of life itself. Lathander was the god of renewal. Yet whatever force had twisted Vardar into existence was something else entirely. Not rebirth, but corruption. Had Lathander's light failed these people? Had it failed him? As he stands amidst the wreckage, a voice calls out, Rezel! Turning, he sees Garen Trask, a veteran of the Caernhold militia. Rezel remembers him, a broad-shouldered man with streaks of gray in his hair, who had always carried himself with unshakable confidence. That confidence was now gone. Garen bears the wounds of the siege, bandages wrapped tight around his torso, a gash still fresh along his arm. But more than that, he carries something else, a weight in his eyes, one Rezel recognizes. Despair. I prayed, during the siege, while the walls burned and our friends fell around me. His voice is hoarse. I prayed to Sahanine for guidance, to Sylvanas for strength, to Lyra for mercy. When the gates broke, when the trolls poured in, He stops, swallowing hard. I don't know why, but I found myself calling out to Lathander. Rezel watches him carefully, saying nothing. I asked for a new dawn, a new chance. Not for me, but for this place, for these people. Garen exhales, running a hand through his unkempt hair. And I swear for a moment, I felt it. Something, like the sun cutting through the smoke. Like hope when there shouldn't have been anything left. Rezel's grip tightens at his side. Lathander had heard. I don't know what to do with that, Garen continues, shaking his head. But when the fighting's done, when I was dragging bodies from the rubble, I found this. Garen reaches into his pouch and pulls out a medallion, golden, shaped like a rising sun. Its edges worn with age, but still warm to the touch. I don't know whose it was. Maybe it belonged to someone who didn't make it. Maybe it was meant for someone else. He steps forward, passing it into Rezel's palm. But I think it was meant for you. In the moment Rezel touches it, warmth floods through him. It isn't just the lingering heat of the morning sun. It's something deeper, a whisper in his soul. Not in words, but in certainty. Lathander's light had not abandoned Kaerndahl. It had been waiting. Rezel now holds Dawn's Embrace, a relic of faith found in the ashes of Kaerndahl's darkest night. What power it holds remains to be seen, but one truth is certain. Lathander has not abandoned them. He just needs someone to show them the path to the new dawn. Dawn's embrace shall be shown to everyone.
Okay. Yeah. Let's see. Cleric. Hey, look, I only have one attuned thing anyway. Ion Summons 3. This can replace my holy symbol, I'm assuming.
That's a pretty awesome item too.
Yeah, I'm reading.
Just let me know you're done reading.
Oh. Okay, the save and beacon of learning. Nice. Okay. I like it.
Very good.
Yes.
Okay, so go through my notes, make sure I'm not skipping past something. Okay, we move to night 1, the first night in Kaerndahl Hold, and we go to Blacklight. During the Blacklight's first night back at Kaerndahl Hold. As the Blacklight returns to Kaerndahl Hold, the ruined fortress hums with whispers, spoken and unspoken. The weight of suffering, loss, and hidden truths linger in the air like a palpable presence. It is in these moments, amid the wreckage of war and broken souls, that his patron's influence stirs. On his first night back in Kaerndahl Hold, rest has not come easy, so the Blacklight quietly steps outside for a midnight walk. As he wanders the shattered streets, he feels a familiar pull in his mind, a whisper without words, an urging from the unseen. He follows, drawn beyond the inner walls, to the ruins of the old crimson altar. There, beneath the crumbled statue, he finds a blackened silver mask, featureless save for the faint etchings of an ancient language that shifts under his gaze. The moment his fingers brush against it, a rush of knowledge floods his mind. Secrets long buried, whispers, betrayals, and the forgotten sins. He sees fleeting glimpses of his last moments of those who perished in the siege, their fears, their regrets, their final desperate thoughts. The mask pulls with power, and in his mind, his patron's presence looms, unseen yet undeniable. A voice in your mind, Blacklight. Well done, my shadowed hand. The voice echoes in the depths of his consciousness. Take this gift. It shall sharpen your whispers, unearth the truths no tongue dares to speak. Use it well, and bring me more. And I'll put this in chat for you as well, Blacklight. You have what's called the Mask of the Veil-Bound Whisperer. Show to players.
Oh, sweet.
Let me know you're done reading that, David. Are you good, David, or did we lose your microphone again? Uh-oh. I think we may have lost David's microphone again.
Yeah, disconnect, reconnect.
Yeah, we still don't hear you, David, if you're talking.
Well, at least, yeah.
He put in Discord. He put an unhappy face and then copied and pasted. I'm not sure.
David, keep working on it. We'll acknowledge when we hear you, or you can put something in chat where you need me to respond to something.
No, David, we don't hear you.
All right, we'll come back to you, David, if you get your mic back. Okay, still on night 1, we move on to Splug. As Splug returns to Kaerndahl Hold, the scent of blood and death still lingers in the air. Though the battle is ended, something stirs deep within him. A restless energy, an unspoken call. That night, as he rests within the damaged keep, his dreams twist into something more. He finds himself in a vast, endless labyrinth of black stone, the walls shifting and pulsing like they are alive. A deep, guttural voice echoes through the corridors, vibrating through his very bones. Oh crap, how many voices I gotta do tonight? You have walked my path, whether you know it or not. You have shed blood, broken bodies, and stood unyielding in the face of death. But tell me, Splug, do you hunger for more? A massive, horned figure looms in the darkness, its burning red eyes locked onto him. The voice is unmistakably Baphomet's, or at least something wearing his voice. Before Splug can answer, a great axe materializes before him, its blackened metal humming with raw power. The weapon is covered in shifting labyrinth patterns, pulsing faintly like a beating heart. Take it. Wield it. Let the strong rule, and the weak will be trampled beneath your hooves. As Splug reaches for the axe, a second voice, hoarse and whispering, chuckles from the shadows. Or do you only serve one master? The voice hisses, dripping with malice. A skeletal hand, covered in rotting flesh, reaches toward the axe from the darkness. For just a moment, the labyrinth flickers, shifting into a grotesque landscape of bones and decay. Splug awakens with a jolt, drenched in sweat, the echoes of both voices lingering in his mind. In his hands, gripped tightly, is the Labyrinth Reaver, the same axe from his vision. And I shall show you the Labyrinth Reaver. So just let me know when you're done reading that.
Slug likes to smack things.
Cool.
That blows your idea of going sword and board, Gary.
Wow.
Kinda does. It does.
You didn't
Yeah.
really want to anyway, though, did you, Gary?
I did.
He wanted +2 or +3 AC.
Now, in all fairness, I didn't exactly tell Gary what this was, but we had that conversation about whether I needed to change this to a one-handed weapon, which I would have done.
Yeah. No. This is pretty cool. I'm good. Thank you, sir.
Okay, so you're good?
Yeah.
Okay, but wait, there's more. Ninny, your first night after the return of the party, something happens for you. The moon hangs low over Kaerndahl Hold, barely visible through drifting smoke and overcast skies. Most of the town sleeps uneasily, wrapped in the grief of what was lost and the faint, flickering hope of what might come. But Ninny Glowheart does not sleep this night. Wrapped in her cloak, she moves through the half-collapsed alleyways behind the inner sanctum. She's not looking for trouble, just a moment of stillness, a place where no one needs her to be strong. She stops beside a scorched stone archway and leans back, fingers brushing the Voidwalker ring on her hand, the one Ilara gave her the night she disappeared. The obsidian stone, usually cool to the touch, is warm now. And then a whisper. not in her ear, but in her pocket. She pulls out a folded scrap of paper she didn't put there, inked in tight, perfect handwriting. Contact acknowledged. The archivists remember her. She was tracking a void broker connected to the mages of Sarun. Fairverol holds the other half of the ledger. I'm going to put that in chat for you. Winnie's breath catches. At the bottom of the note is a familiar mark, a coin with a mask on one side and a blank face on the other. This is Ilara's mark. As she lowers the paper, something shifts behind her. A low scrape of boots. She spins, dagger ready, but there's no one. Only a small lacquered box sitting atop the low wall she passed moments before. No sound, no footsteps, just the wind. She opens it. Inside is a slender black lacquered bracer, etched with deep violet runes, hard to see unless caught in the moonlight. Beneath it lies another note. Wear it if you want answers. The coin opens the next door. No one walks the void alone. It's not as important, but I'll put it in chat for you as well, Brian.
Okay.
Just so I don't create a red herring. This is a Shadowlink bracer, and I'll share that with you in just a second. I said that before I finish reading. As Ninny straps the bracer onto her wrist, it clicks into place like it belongs, the etched runes briefly flaring with soft purple light before fading. Her lead is real. Ilara was onto something. The black market, the Sarun mages, and now Fairverol. The trail has been cold for too long, but tonight it warms beneath her skin. And now Ninny Glowheart walks on, masked coin in her pocket, shadows at her back, and justice in her step. And I'll share with you your new magic item.
Oh, sweet. That's awesome. Thanks, Brian.
Okay, so you done reading it?
Yep.
Okay. All right, I have something ready for night 2, unless there's something you guys want to do or roleplay. I still have the ceremony coming up. That's why I set it up with Elmira. I said need to give him a few days for his kin to arrive. So anything in particular you guys want to talk about or do on day 2? Okay, I'll keep going. Okay, night 2. The smallest sentinel. Oh yeah, this is the one that almost made me cry. So, you guys gonna make me sound like a baby, or maybe you'll like it too. The wind carries a soft chill across the ruins of the chapel as another night of quiet vigil settles over Kaerndahl Hold. Shadows stretch along the broken stones, and the flicker of dozens of candles dances in the dark like stars that refuse to be snuffed out. Near the bier, where Helmut Elravar's body rests, a small figure approaches, no taller than the edge of the shroud. A boy, no more than 8, tiptoes barefoot across the gravel. His tunic is patched in 4 places, and the oversized cloak draped over his shoulders is clearly not his. It's an old militia cloak, torn at the helm, probably salvaged from the rubble. In his hands he carries something awkward and precious, a wooden helmet, clearly handmade. The carving is rough, the design mismatched, and one side still bears the curved groove of the table leg he must have broken it off from. But it's clearly meant to resemble the open-faced helm of a knight. Ninny, watching from the edge of the vigil, steps forward quietly, just as the boy kneels by the bier. He doesn't notice her at first. He's too busy gently setting the wooden helmet beside Helmut, with trembling hands. Then he whispers, loud enough only for her, Ninny, to hear. He gave me a sword once. It was a stick. But he said it was real if I believed it. I told the others I'd protect him next time. He glances up at the still form beneath the white cloth. His voice wavers. I didn't get to say thank you. And then he crouches beside him, placing a steady hand on his shoulder, and she whispers to him, You just did. The boy looks at her, sniffs, and pulls something from his pocket. A crude drawing. It shows a smiling stick figure elf with a sword standing between three smaller stick figures and a big bad troll. In shaky, blocky letters it reads, Helmet -Hero. He tucks it under the edge of the shroud, then quietly gets up and walks back into the night, the too large cloak trailing behind him like a cape. Ninny watches him go, and in the flicker of the candles, for just a moment, she could almost swear Helmet's lips curled into the faintest smile. Okay, am I a baby or was that freaking good?
That was pretty
That was
good.
pretty awesome, yeah.
Okay. I kind of barely choked up again just reading the damn thing. Okay. All right, so rebuilding. The first few days. The first days after party return are filled with grief and exhaustion. The dead are gathered, identified where possible, and given proper rites. The priests of Sahanine Moonbow, Sylvanus, and Lyra lead the mourning ceremonies, offering what comfort they can. Rezel, though shaken by the recent events, joins them in blessing the fallen, ensuring each soul is guided toward its next beginning. Bax, the battle-hardened Dragonborn, organizes what remains of the militia. Though wounded, he pushes himself to maintain order, leading search parties for missing townsfolk, and ensuring what little food remains is rationed. Supplies are low, morale is fragile, but Kaerndahl Hold still stands. The Eladrin soldiers who arrived via the moon door just before the siege began remain to offer their aid. Their leader, an enigmatic warrior named Vareth Autumnshade, offers counsel but makes it clear that their stay is temporary. And I think in here, it's after night 2. So I can get my notes squared away. I apologize, guys. Okay. 1 week later. Word of Helmet Erevar's death spreads far beyond Kaerndahl Hold. Messengers rode quietly south along the Eastern Reach River, carrying word to those who once knew him, comrades, kin, and old debts long honored. About a week later, a procession of elves arrives at the Hold's battered gates. Their cloaks are worn from river-dyed wool, soft and pale like morning mist, embroidered with the quiet silver filigree. They are not warriors, but kin. They have come from Ulanus Tellar, an elven settlement in the wooded foothills near Uthmir, where Helmet was born and once served as a soldier. At their head walks... Oh, crap. I should have practiced this. Larethian of the Oak Spoken, an elder who once stood beside Helmet's father during the early border patrols. With solemn dignity, he bows and says, He wished to lie where the sky is open, and the river runs unburdened. The stone and city were never his home. The people of Kaerndahl Hold honor the request. A small company of Helmet's companions, townsfolk, and survivors accompany the elves southward, journeying alongside the Eastern Reach. Oh, I've got to switch the background again. They eventually stop at a lonely hilltop, one Helmet once passed in his younger years, a quiet rise above the river, where wildflowers bloom and the wind speaks gently through tall grass. There the elves prepare a burial site of ancient custom, a circle of standing stones, open to the sky, moss-covered and half buried by time. No headstone, no monument, just nature, watching in silence. Helmet's body is placed on a wooden bier, cloaked in white, a simple leather-bound satchel at his side containing tokens of his life, a letter penned by his own hand, a ribbon once worn by the tiefling girl he loved, and the sigil of Helm, burnished by years of battle. His armor and sword, entrusted by Will to his companions, are not with him. He gave them up, not out of pride, but because his war was done. The ceremony is quiet. The elves chant in soft, melodic Elvish, invoking protection, rest, and remembrance. And this is where I have a short little, like, 1 or 2 sentence thing for each of you. But this is where I will give you guys a chance to say your own if you have something prepared. Otherwise, I will say what me and Opal came up with. So, Brent, I know you had something prepared, so now would be the time if you would like to.
Sure. Does anybody else have anything to say? Or are you going to go with Brian's?
I'm just thinking about Splug. Splug might say something.
All right. So I'll roleplay what Bryn's going to say. So Bryn steps forward slowly. Her voice is quiet but firm. Wisps of shadow gather at her fingertips, forming faint, flickering images as she speaks. I put a picture in chat of what she looks like. Do not often speak, but today I will try for Helmet. A shadow-formed helm flickers to life in her hands, gleaming proud, and then fades. Helmet Erevar was a man of conviction, a shield to those without one, a light that never wavered, even when the night tried to swallow us whole. He stood at the front every time. Not because he feared death less than the rest of us, but because he feared what would happen to us if he didn't. When he fell, I was angry. Angry that Helm, his god, his guide, let him die. But I'm no stranger to death, and I know now death is not failure. Death is not the end. It is only the next chapter. She holds up a small silver pendant shaped like a gauntleted fist. Shadow magic mimics the shape above her palm. I made this for him. She looks at his casket. For you. You may wear it, or not. But know this. As long as we remember Helmet, as long as we speak his name, as long as we keep fighting for what is right, he is not truly gone. Not to me, and not to the Queen. He faced the darkness and did not blink, and now he walks beyond the veil, free of fear, free of pain. May the Raven Queen guide him gently, and may Helm greet his faithful servant with pride. She lowers her hand, the shadows fade, her eyes lift. Rest well, Helmet. You did not fall. You stood.
Very, very nice. I love it. I love it. I love it.
That was awesome. Thank you, Rob. That was really good.
Mm-hmm. Very nice.
Anybody else have anything prepared? If you need a couple minutes, just let me know.
I need a couple minutes.
Okay. All right. So I'm assuming, David, your microphone's still not working. So mine are very short and sweet. They are nothing like the elaborate one Bryn did. So I apologize in advance if you don't like the ones I did for you. But if you guys come up with one of your own later on, that's fine. Post it in here. We'll communicate that. So, what's this in chat? Is that Bryn's or is that somebody else's?
Yeah, that's just my script.
Oh, okay. All right. Thank you.
Oh, shoot. Okay.
All right. So I'll start with the Blacklight since I don't think his mic's going to work. So Blacklight quietly steps forward and places a folded scrap of parchment into Helmet's satchel. A page from the Paladin's journal. He says only, even shadows remember, before returning to the circle in silence, his expression unreadable, but his gesture unmistakably reverent. Now, I interpret this as somehow the Blacklight stole a page from Helmet's journal, and now the Blacklight is returning it. Not sure if it's for shame or it's for as a sign of respect or whatever, but That's because Blacklight is infatuated with secrets. So Blacklight, if you oppose that, you can put something in chat, and I will scratch that from the record. That's how I had the Blacklight responding to Helmut during this ceremony. Okay, Splug, you say you want a couple minutes. So, Rezel, do you have anything prepared? Do you want me to share what I had?
Well, we already had like eulogy, so I'd like 2 eulogies. Is that a thing?
I'm just asking if you have something else you want to say.
Yeah, the next one would be a you googly. It's a Zoolander reference for those of you that aren't paying attention.
Yes. God. I don't want to.
Okay, that's fine. Mine are short and sweet. So if you want to add to it later, you can.
I have something, but I don't want to. No, it's fine.
No?
We'll
Okay.
stick with. Bryn did a really good one. We'll leave it.
Yeah, no one can top that.
Oh, I was gonna do like a cleric thing. I was like
Okay.
cleric priest, but no, it's good. It's good.
A Rezel offers a prayer to Lathander, calling down light not to banish the darkness, but to show that dawn always follows it. That's it. Short and sweet. Okay, Gralnar,
Yep,
do you have anything prepared?
I do.
Share?
Do I? Or should I just post it in the thing? I think
you need to read it.
Oh, really? Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Okay. So, brothers, sister, steel-hearted companions, today we stand, not in silence, but in reverence. Helmut has fallen. But gods, did he not fall like a star from the heavens, blazing, brilliant, and unyielding to his final breath? He was a man, forged of duty and honor, a blade without blemish, a wall against the tide. When I, Gralnar Ironwill, son of the Forge, fell to the earth, Helmut stood over me more than once, his shield scarred from battle, took the blows that would have ended me. It was Helmut who first pulled me from the mud, when my legs failed beneath thy cyclopean spear. It was Helmut who lent me his shoulder as I limped from the cauldron's cursed maw, half my blood staining the ground. And it was Helmut who, when all seemed lost, played a card of fate itself to try and steal me back from death's grip. And in the end, it was he who died so that we might live. If he did not pass away quietly, no, he passed away gloriously. With one final strike, he severed the last hope of our enemies, and faced the darkness with his chin high, his blade alight with purpose, and not even death itself could rob him of dignity. So remember him not with sorrow, but then with steel in your spine. Remember the gleam of his armor, the steadiness of his hand, the certainty of his word. Raise your tankards high, friends. And to Helmut, the shield of the righteous, the sword of the brave, and the only man I've ever known stubborn enough to make death blink first. We'll carry your light forward, brother, and when the next we meet, may it be in the halls of our gods with song and steel and endless glory. Until then, rest, warrior. So.
Very nice. Golf clap
All
again.
right.
Golf clap again.
Yeah, that was awesome. Thank you.
Yeah.
Okay. Splug?
Yeah.
Are you ready?
Splug. Yep. Splug just simply walks up with his head hung low and pulls out a small dagger and slices across the palm of his hand and puts a bloody handprint on the coffin, and just quietly under his breath just says, "Goodbye, friend. You died honorably. You died as my friend, and I will miss you." And walks away.
Very nice. Okay, so I think that's everybody, unless you had something, Helmut, Ryan, to say from Vinny's standpoint. I thought that'd be a little awkward for you, so I didn't ask you if you had something for Ninny to say.
No, because I think she's only known about his death for like a day or right.
Yeah.
Since they got back, so it's like 2 days. So
Okay.
she wouldn't have had time to prepare anything.
Okay. All right.
But she also didn't know him the way the rest of the group did.
Okay, very good then. All right, so as Splug does his last eulogy and steps back from the body of Helmet, from the gathered crowd, two tieflings step forward. Many do not know these, but some of Helmet's closest friends did. The parents of Helmet's lost love. The woman carries a bundle of wild Eastern Reach river flowers, bound with black ribbon. They say little, but the present speaks volumes. The mother lays the flowers gently on the bier, and she whispers, "He saw her when others wouldn't. He remembered her when the world forgot, and now we remember him." The father presses a silver charm into the satchel before stepping back. That evening the sun sets in pale amber behind the hills. No fire is lit. No songs are sung. The river flows below, constant and clear. As the elves finish their rites and return to their horses, a single chime echoes faintly from Uthmir's distant Chapel Hill to the south, rung in Helmet's honor. A vigil bell for a guardian who gave his life far from home, but not forgotten. Helmet Erovar rests now, not in stone nor steel, but in sky, in wind, in the memory of those he died to protect. First few weeks after the return to Kaerndahl Hall, with the immediate crisis over, attention turns to rebuilding. Elmira, now the interim mayor, holds council meetings with the party and key survivors. The people look to the heroes not only as warriors, but as symbols of hope. I have more stuff for you guys specifically. Ninny quietly grieves Helmet's death, offering her skills to help rebuild Kaerndahl Hold. She begins mentoring orphan children in secret and earns the trust of the militia by exposing security flaws. Though she remains haunted by Ilara's disappearance, whispers of darkness stirring in the Underdark reignite her purpose, and she begins to suspect the answers she seeks lie far below the surface. Splug, ever eager to prove his strength, throws himself into rebuilding efforts. His minotaur frame makes him invaluable in clearing debris and fortifying makeshift defenses. However, his dreams grow darker. Baphomet, or something pretending to be him, whispers promises of greater power. The black light wanders the ruins, using his unnatural senses to uncover lost secrets. Some of the dead, he learns, died with whispers still on their lips. Secrets worth knowing. What he does with this knowledge remains his own. Bryn watches the shadows carefully. She's seen how tragedy can create openings for darkness to creep in. The whispers of ravens follow her, warning her that Kaerndahl Hold's struggles is not over. Rezel, guided by the surviving follower of Lathander, seeks to bring light to the weary. He helps organize the planting of crops beyond the Hold's ruined walls, ensuring that not only swords, but also seeds bring Kaerndahl Hold back to life. Gralmar, ever the stalwart warrior, finds his heart torn between mourning Durgan and honoring his friend's memory. He speaks with surviving dwarves, pushing for reforged weapons, stronger walls, and the resilience his kin are known for. The following months, as winter approaches, a new Kaerndahl Hold begins to take shape. The inner walls are fortified, and the foundations of a new central keep are laid. The city may never be as it was, but is no longer on the brink of collapse. Refugees from neighboring settlements arrive, hearing that Kaerndahl Hold still stands. Some stay, swelling the ranks of the town. Others simply seek temporary shelter before moving on. Rumors begin to stir. Skalmon may be dead, but his former allies are not. There are whispers of scattered troll bands, leaderless but still dangerous. The next challenge may not be in rebuilding, but in defending what they have saved. The heroes have given Kaerndahl Hold a chance at survival, but the world is not yet done testing them. The adventurers are hailed as heroes, and word of their deeds spreads rapidly across the Codelands. They will always be welcome in Kaerndahl Hold, and hold a place of honor in the history of this town. Baron Peronin and the Eladrin court of Selduin are indebted to the adventurers for their deeds and their bravery. Okay, and somewhere in here I have lost my notes about crafting some of the other items that Helmut left you guys. So that is where my reading a book ends. Do some of you guys have notes? I thought I shared them with you guys about the things that are being crafted into, or do I need to go dig for them?
I don't think you actually shared it, but it was the Splug with armor with the thing there.
Mm-hmm.
Armor with the sword.
Yeah.
That's the only one I remember.
Yeah, mine was the great sword, but I don't know what it moved into.
Oh, here they are. I found it. I just didn't put it a link to it in any of my notes here. Helmets, sacrificed items. Starting with Bryn. Bryn's sacrifice, trading helmets, magic +2 great sword. Bryn, as a devoted warlock of the Raven Queen, understands that power always comes with a cost. Rather than let Helmut's magic fall into just anyone's hands, she seeks to offer one of his sacred relics to the unseen forces that govern fate and death, a tribute to Helmut's soul, his sacrifice in the eternal cycle of life and death. The ritual of letting go. To enact the sacrifice, Bryn must perform a spirit. If you had something already planned for this, Rob, then tell me to shut up.
Heck, I didn't even know this was happening. So
okay,
no,
all right. Okay, to enact the sacrifice, Bryn must perform a special ritual at a place of great significance. A shrine to the Raven Queen, the ruins of a battlefield, or atop a cliff where the wind howls like whispers from the dead. She kneels in the moonlight, holding one of Helmut's magical items, feeling the lingering essence of his righteous fury still within it. She calls upon the Raven Queen, offering the relic not as a possession, but as a final passage for Helmut's spirit, an acknowledgement that his purpose has been fulfilled, and that his strength must now return to the cycle. The item vanishes in a swirl of black feathers, a cold wind rushing past as the Raven Queen accepts the gift. In return, Bryn receives a powerful boon, one that ties her more deeply to her patron's will and the forces of fate. And it looks like I didn't make this into a handout, so I will read it, and then I'll put it in chat. This is called The Boon of the Vengeful Echo. The first time Bryn reduces 0 hit points in combat, a spectral echo of Helmut appears beside her. The echo lasts for 1 minute and makes a single attack against the enemy that downed her before vanishing. If Bryn is healed back to consciousness before her next turn, the echo remains until her next attack, dealing additional radiant damage. Narrative connection. Helmut's vengeance does not fade so easily. Even in death, he fights alongside her one last time. So let me put this in chat for you. And next one I've got here is Splug, the reforging of a legacy. The forge roared, its molten heart casting flickering shadows across the blacksmith's workshop. Splug stood before the anvil, his massive hands gripping the slain blood weapon, great sword that once belonged to Helmut. It was a weapon of exquisite craftsmanship. Its platinum inlaid blade gleamed, the 3 white diamonds set in its steel reflecting the firelight like distant stars. The pommel, carved into the head of a noble lion, seemed to gaze back at him, as if challenging him to prove himself worthy. The blacksmith, a grizzled dwarf with soot-stained hands, inspected the weapon, his brow furrowed in thought. "That's no ordinary steel, lad. It's seen battles, drawn the blood of evil men, and I swear it. It doesn't want to be melted down." Splug said nothing. Instead, he laid the sword on the anvil and gripped the smith's hammer. With a single, thunderous strike, the blade cracked. The lion's head pommel snapped free, rolling across the workshop floor as if in protest. Another strike. The diamonds splintered from their settings, falling into the forge like teardrops. The platinum veins melted, merging with the iron, as if resisting the transformation but ultimately submitting to its fate. The blacksmith worked tirelessly, pouring the reforged steel into new molds, folding the metal over itself again and again. Splug watched as the greatsword, Helmut's weapon, Helmut's strength, ceased to be a blade and became something else entirely. The armor of the Warborn. The finished plate armor was a masterpiece. The blackened steel gleamed with streaks of platinum, a ghostly shimmer catching the light whenever it moved. Upon the breastplate, inset where the heart would be, lay the 3 white diamonds from the sword, now arranged in a triangular pattern, resembling an eternal, watchful eye. But it was the pauldrons that caught Splug's breath. The blacksmith had taken the lion's head from the sword's pommel and split it in 2, forging each half into the pauldrons that rested upon Splug's shoulders. Now the noble beast's visage remained, forever watching, forever standing guard. Splug ran a hand along the cold metal, feeling the weight of it, not just its steel, but its meaning. This is no longer just armor. This was Helmut. It suits you, the blacksmith muttered, nodding approvingly. A warrior's armor for a warrior's fight. As Splug donned the plate, he felt an unfamiliar warmth settle into his bones, a surge of unwavering strength, as if something deep within the metal refused to let him fall. And just for a moment, just for a fleeting second, he thought he heard it. A low growl, like the rumbling of a distant storm, or perhaps the roar of a lion? And Splug smiled. Okay, so the Warborn plate is now a replacement for the Slain Blood weapon, but is still part of the Golden Lion's Battle Regalia set. Does that name ring a bell with you, Gary?
Mm-hmm.
That's I think the barbarian that died. That was his original set he was set out for.
Yep.
So here is your new plate armor.
So we have all 3 pieces of the set now.
I don't know if anyone else has part of the Golden Lions or Battle Regalia set.
I think I thought that was already in the loot bag, actually.
He had all 3.
Yeah. I
Don't
think
know.
you just duplicated a piece.
Yeah.
Is that what I have?
No,
This replaced Acrius. That's the sword that Helmut gave up to make this. So this replaces Acrius, or the Slain Blood weapon.
I've got a piece of the Regalia of the Exalted General set.
Yeah, that's different than
That's
this
what
one.
I was thinking of. Yeah.
So, Splug, you let me know when you're done reading that?
Yep, I'm good.
Okay, you also get a temporary boon. Okay, temporary boon until Splug's next level up. The reforging of Helmut's greatsword into Splug's plate armor has imbued the steel with a lingering presence, a guarding spirit forged from battle, sacrifice, and unyielding will. This is more than armor. It's a legacy worn in steel and platinum. Helmut's watchful gaze. The 3 white diamonds on the breastplate glow faintly in times of danger. Once per long rest, Splug may re-roll a failed saving throw as Helmut's spirit momentarily shields him from harm. If this reroll saves him from falling unconscious, the armor emits a ghostly lion's roar, shaking the battlefield. I'll put that in chat as well, because I don't have a handout for this.
Wow, that's pretty sweet.
Oh.
Alright, so only 2 last things I have here are questions. So I think we talked about last time the Sunwrath sword. They wanted you to return that to the Baron of Therund. Are you guys doing that, or you want to try to work out a way where you keep it, save it, deal it? What do you guys want to do with that?
No, I think we should take it.
Okay. If you take that back, he is going to offer you a replacement of the same rarity. So let me look up what Sunwrath was. I think it was a rare. Looks like I'm giving you guys out way too many magic items. What do you think?
Nope, not quite enough. I'd like to do more.
I didn't think so.
We need to start having a store. We need a shopping trip, honestly. where we can sell items and exchange them.
Where the
Yeah.
hell
I think
did I
we-
put this?
I think we open our own shop.
Right? We could put everyone out of business.
Sunwrath. Where are you, Sunwrath?
Oh, see, that's what, man. That would be a good.
It's a rare item. So if you guys want to decide who wants to roll with the advantage on the rare item table to see what he offers in return. Tell you what, I'll let you guys roll it 3 times. And you guys can pick whichever one you want.
Oh shit!
Okay.
What's the number?
It's just a, oh yeah, that's right, for a rare item table. It is 744.
I'll roll one.
I'll roll one.
There you go.
2.
That'd be great if it was a D100.
What is it? 744.
Yep.
Oh shit!
Okay, I'm glad I didn't always scroll all the way down to 555 yet. All right, 92 is something you wear in your head. Crown of the Peaceful Mind, if someone wants to make a note of that. And then 32, since I'm in that area, is Glamored Studded Leather. I think that's a standard thing out of the Dungeon Master's Guide.
Hey.
And then 555, way down here.
Roll of the comet.
That will never be on my magic item table again, Gary.
Oh man.
All right,
Should've
you
used
guys,
it.
does anyone need a new weapon? Do you want to re-roll this? You let me tell you what it is.
I mean, I could probably use a weapon that's not just me casting spells.
It's an axe.
Yeah, that's no good.
I mean, if it's +2 or better or something like that, maybe.
I mean, a rare weapon is going to be, well, let me double check before I say that. It should be +2.
Oh.
I got to look this up to make sure.
I've already got a +2 party axe, so I don't want to.
Oh, for the record, I don't have a weapon. I have a shield.
You know, I hardly ever use a weapon, do you?
Nope.
Well, I use a warhammer, so
I have a
Shit.
I have a fun. I
imagine
have a
it's
fun
pretty
staff you can
close.
use, Frizzle.
You do?
This is
Can I
a
use
great
my
axe.
Okay.
So it's two-handed, so it could replace the warhammer.
Yeah, I could use that. I mean,
You have to give up a shield
You
if you're going to do
got
that.
keep saying. Okay, keep going. Yeah, let's see.
Again, you got to choose which one of those you want. An
Oh.
axe. I'll tell you what they are. It's fine. So, Rurik's axe. It's a great axe. It is fabled. Fabled means it gains powers as you level. Right now it has a 5th level power and a 9th level power. Holy Enforcer. Requires attunement. As your level increases, you gain the following benefits of wielding this axe. 5th level, when you hit with an attack using this magic axe, the target takes an additional 1d8 radiant damage. When you hit, holy fuck! Every time you hit, Jesus. Oh, but it doesn't have a plus to it.
Okay, but what's it do?
Okay, so that's the first thing it does. At 5th level, when you hit, it does an extra 1d8 damage. So shit ton of damage.
At 1D, we're at 5th level. So what are we, 8th level? 9th level.
Yeah.
At 9th level, you gain a +1 bonus to attack and damage rolls made with this magic weapon. In addition, if you score a critical hit with this axe, you roll the damage twice. You roll the damage dice 3 times instead of twice. Holy shit.
Okay.
But
that's a pretty good. Okay, what's the other one?
So hold on. If your confidence is gone, that means you're going to give up one of your set items. Isn't your hammer part of your set?
I hadn't had a turn yet, so
Okay.
I hadn't mentioned it, but I I actually got that Iron Fist token, which looks like it was made for me.
Yeah.
That's already going to knock out my first
Piece of set.
item set. So I took off Keisha's amulet. So
Okay.
I could attune to the Iron Fist token, which takes me down to 2 Heirlooms of Masgara set. Sorry, my throat is pretty rough. And but that act, well, I wanted to hear what the other act said, but that I think what that first one that you already said would do better than my Dragon Jaw Warhammer. I guess I got to see the difference between the.
Here, let me read the other two, then I'll copy and paste
Yeah.
what I've got in the chat for you.
Quick question, Brian.
Yep.
What was the 9th level ability?
Mm-hmm.
It was +1 to attack and damage, and let me go back to it.
That makes it a +1 weapon. Yeah.
Correct.
Yeah.
In
Right.
addition, if you score a critical hit with this axe, you roll the damage dice 3 times instead of twice.
Yeah.
And it gets something else at 13th level and 17th level. But you won't know what those are until you reach those levels. All right, so let me go back and...
Did you open it up?
Oh, I'm sorry. I thought I was going to read the other ones first. But here, yeah, I'll
Oh,
do
no,
it.
no. Yeah. Go ahead. Whatever you want to do. I was just sorry.
No, I'm back on the page, so I'll do it. I can't put it in Roll20, so I'll put it in Discord. I'll put it in the Trollhaunt Warrens page for you guys. Oh, shit, no. I almost put the whole damn thing in there, showing you what the 13th and 17th level thing was. Let me redo that. That was almost really bad, Brian. That was almost a really dumb DM move. Okay, 5th and 9th. There we go. There we go. That's better. Let's share that one. Whew. I was like half a second away from doing Control V. All right, what was the other one? Let's just go back and look at the number.
32 and 92.
Thank you. 92 was Crown of the Peaceful Mind. That one is in my magic item library, so let me go grab that and pull it over. Does that sound familiar to anybody? Have we had this before?
Nope, not me.
Which one?
Crown of the Peaceful Mind, what it's called.
Yeah, I
Not-
thought
not-
that's the one that you mentioned earlier.
This is
Yeah,
one
I
of the
thought
3
that
items you
was
get
the
to choose
first
from.
one.
Yeah.
Oh, I was asking if someone had that somewhere like earlier in one of my other campaigns.
Yeah, one of the other
Oh,
campaigns
okay.
actually sounds familiar. Yeah, was that Kev?
Let me see, where did it go?
I feel like Kev had that, but maybe not.
Restore. Show to players.
That's pretty cool, too.
Wow. Gain proficiency in wisdom or intelligence saving throws. Wow. That right there is just pretty freaking powerful thing, in my opinion.
You gotta choose one and it can never be changed.
Yep. Okay, and then the third one was a lower number. It was 32. Oh, yeah,
Yeah.
that was that glamored studded leather, which should be in the compendium in Roll20. By typing glamored. There is the glamored studded leather armor. David, have you resolved your mic yet? We still don't hear you, David, if you're talking. All right, so those are 3 items you get to choose from.
I can't use any of them. I'm all for giving the axe to Groundlar.
Boy.
Or I take the axe and give him my cursed axe. I've done that before.
Did I say cursed? I didn't say cursed, did I?
Well,
Unfortunate.
You guys don't have to decide now. You guys can talk about it in Discord for
Yeah.
a while. You got a couple weeks before you got to make this decision. But all right. So other than that, that is all I have to reveal. So I asked you guys if you wanted to share what would your character be doing in the weeks or months after you return to Kaerndahl Hold. This is basically like your interlude before we go into the next chapter, Demon Queen's Enclave. So does anybody have anything that they want to share, ask, talk about?
Glug does.
I posted my activities in Discord a couple of days ago.
Yeah, you're going to have to remind me. So I'll scroll through and I'll probably might find it here. So Splug, what were you going to say or do?
So I posted mine too, but I'll just rerun it. On the last night we were at Kaerndahl Hold, Splug just slipped away in the middle of the night without saying goodbye to the party.
Oh shit.
He headed off just in his own mind. He's angry, he's frustrated. Days bled into weeks of a drunken haze of violent clashes with anyone or anything that raised an eye in Splug's direction. The swath of bloodshed in his path will be remembered in the history books for all time. The claw wine has stifled Splug's goblin persona and fueled the minotaur inside. Baphomet's light is calling. Having awakened on the floor of the Waterdeep drunk tank, covered in dry blood and vomit, Splug realizes this is not the path he wants. He paid his fines, recovered his gear, sent a letter off to Helmet's mother, extolling the triumphs of her paladin son, lowered his head in shame, and started out back to Kaerndahl Hold, in hopes his friends will forgive him and accept him back and give him purpose again. That is what Splug did.
You did that drunken stupor in Kaerndahl Hold? Or
Nope.
somewhere else?
No, out around Waterdeep.
Probably not Waterdeep. Waterdeep is like from like here to Australia in Faerun terms.
I just picked the location, wherever.
Helflem is
Yeah.
probably the biggest town,
Helflem.
close to where you guys are.
Somewhere. He was pretty drunk at the time, though.
Okay.
He thought it was Waterdeep.
Yeah,
That
so
pool of water was.
So Telflem, just to kind of put it in perspective for you, Splug, that is also the town where you guys killed the Red Wizard and burned him up in the furnace.
Yeah.
But supposedly he didn't die because Gronar was being talked to by him in his dreams.
That's right.
So just making sure Splug would have been aware of that, but he wouldn't have cared. Would have gone back to Telflem anyway.
He wouldn't have cared.
Okay, so I am making note of this, and
He
there
was
may
5 gallons in on the claw wine.
Splug went on a drunken stupor binge in Telflem. You said you went to jail, right?
Yeah.
Paid the fines? Okay. I'm just
Yeah.
making notes.
There were no witnesses left.
Or so Splug thinks. He was pretty drunk.
Huh?
Okay, here I go. Chat GPT, what do you make of this? I'll do that between now and next session. Okay?
Cool.
Brayden, you want to share with the group what you had in yours? Just so we have it in the session?
Yeah, sure. So, battle against the Troll King had taken its toll. The party had suffered greatly, one of their own lost forever, and 2 others marked with injuries that would never fully heal. The weight of it all pressed against Bryn's chest like a leaden hand. In the wake of the battle, with weeks of respite ahead, she sought solace and quiet purpose. Bryn spent the first days in mourning, not outwardly. She was never one for grand displays of grief, but in solitude, She wandered the outskirts of the resting place, whispering prayers to the Raven Queen, seeking comfort in the silence that followed. She gathered black feathers where she found them, tucking them away in a small satchel in an unconscious ritual. She knelt before a simple altar of her own making, a collection of tokens arranged in careful symmetry, fragments of metal and cloth, small trinkets recovered from past battles, and stones she had carried for years, each tied to a name. One by one, she whispered those names into the stillness, allowing the memories to come unbidden. Her newly fallen friend was the freshest wound, but not the only one. Others had gone before, claimed by darkness, by blades, by things more insidious than death. She envisioned their faces in the shifting candlelight, letting the weight of their absence settle in her bones. She did not weep, that was not her way. Instead, she meditated on the Raven Queen's purpose, reminding herself why loss was necessary. Her queen did not hoard souls out of greed, but out of duty. She was a filter, cleansing those who still clung to pain and fear, forcing them to face their unfinished business before they could rise beyond mortal burdens. Bryn believed this with all her heart, but belief did not make the burden lighter. Needing to keep her hands busy, she turned to her craft. With jeweler's tools in hand, she took fragments of the battle, shards of broken armor, splinters of wood from a shattered staff, even a tarnished ring from the Troll King's hoard, and set to work. Bryn shaped these remnants into pendants and rings, small tokens imbued with quiet memory. She did not ask if her companions wanted them. Some things were better left as gifts, left in places they would be found without the need for spoken gratitude. She also immersed herself in herbalism, seeking out plants with restorative properties. With careful hands, she crushed dried leaves, mixed tinctures, and brewed potions, some to ease pain, other to fortify the body. If she couldn't heal the scars left on her companion, she could at least soften the ache. She kept a small selection of vials for herself, though she doubted she would ever need them. Her injuries were never physical. But amidst the quiet sorrow and healing, Bryn found something else, opportunity. Another warlock known as the Blacklight was among her companions. Like her, he was a master of ritual magic, and the two had long acknowledged their mutual hunger for arcane knowledge. During the time of rest, they spent long evenings together exchanging secrets and teachings. Bryn shared her own rituals. Her voice was low as she traced glyphs in the air, summoning ephemeral shadows to dance between her fingers. In return, the Blacklight revealed his own mysteries and the flickering glow of his power contrasting with Bryn's deep, tenebrous magic. The two warlocks sat by candlelight, their tomes open, their hands ink-stained, speaking in hushed tones as they inscribed new knowledge into the pages of their books. At night, Bryn practiced her magic in privacy of shadowed corners. She wove illusions of their fallen comrade, tracing his form in wisps of darkness, letting the image linger before releasing it into the night. She did not tell the others. It was not for them. By the final weeks, Bryn began to prepare for what comes next. She knew their rest was temporary. Catastrophe always lurked beyond the horizon. She honed her spells, sharpened her focus, and turned her mind towards the future. When the time came to move forward, she would be ready, silent, steady, and waiting for the Raven Queen's call.
Very nice. All right, so 3 things I picked up from all that, and I'm sure I didn't pick up everything. You mentioned something about crafting some trinkets or remnants. Was that just like making little baubles and stuff, or were you hoping to like make those into something magical?
It's whatever you want it to be, Brian.
Okay.
I didn't have anything in mind specifically. Like I say, it's whatever you want it to be.
Okay.
Same with the herbalism stuff. It's whatever you want it to be.
So was Bryn already proficient in her herbalism?
Yeah, those are the 2 things that she's proficient
Ah,
in.
okay.
Jewel crafting and herbalism.
Okay. So one of the things that I think I had a side conversation with the Black Light. I don't know if it was out in the open or not. We talked about whether or not training during this downtime to learn a new skill or proficiency. At first I said yes, but after I read, and there's like some feats in 2024 that you can take to gain more proficiencies. So right now I'm basically going to say if you want to switch one of your tool proficiency to something else, you can when you level up, or if you want to change something a skill that you're proficient at into something else, you can do that when you level up. But right now I'm not going to let you add proficiencies from training during a downtime. Okay, that's why I asked about the herbalism thing. I didn't know if it was something you already skilled at or not.
It's been on my. It's been from character creation. Is one of the. It's. I gave it to her because she had a bit of a nature background at the time of creation, so I figured herbalism fit. It wasn't a min maxer. It was just it fit with her story.
Okay, all right. And the last thing is about you and Blacklight exchanging ritual magic, which I'm perfectly fine with. So over the course of the next few weeks, you guys can write into, because you guys both have the same book, right? It's a ritual book. You
Yep.
guys both took that from Warlock, so you guys can you can get everything that he knew as a ritual in that book, and he can get anything from you that you had in your ritual book.
We should talk about the two big rituals that I have, Brian, that we got from one of the adventures. In that way, I mean, the regular Warlock stuff is kind of, I can definitely see that, but she's got a couple of ritual books. She's got a ritual book that she can cast the Hallow spell with. It's in her character sheet if you want to see it on the front bio page. It's number 16 and number 17. She's got a ritual book that allows her to enchant amulet, but it's a separate book. It's not part of her ritual.
Oh yeah, that's one of the old 4E type of ritual books. So
yeah,
I'll make a note of it to look into that. About how I want to handle that moving forward. That's something you can share, and I think that's your question, right? Whether that can be shared.
Yeah, that's pretty much the question.
Okay. Anybody else?
Downtime?
Yeah, just something you want to do in your downtime that I may or may not need to dig into to see what comes out of it.
So plan for Wrestle. I never posted anything, but Wrestle's downtime. He was going to spend his time basically trying to help rebuild for Kaerndahl Hold's families and community. He was going to spend his time casting minor illusions and entertaining the children who'd lost everything they'd ever known, as well as working to rebuild the library and the how do you call it, repository of knowledge that the Hold was once held for teaching its skills and beliefs to its citizens. A lot of his time would have been spent basically on, healing, and healing both of the of like the body, and then preaching and healing of the mind.
All right, I got here in my notes: rebuilt morale and Kaerndahl Hold.
Yes.
That's more than just physical healing. That's of the mind, of the spirit, all that.
Yes.
Okay. All right. Anything else? I'll take it as a no. Okay. Anybody else?
Oh wait, no, there was one. Hold on, wait. I had note. Sorry. Part of the rebuilding of knowledge was to dig through any of the records or archives that survived that maybe weren't so protected anymore, since everybody's friggin' got murked, and looking for any hints towards what caused this to happen, or any hints to how this do you get what I'm trying to say?
What caused the skull
Like,
mod, the Vardar,
yes.
and all that stuff?
Yes.
Caused their return. Okay. Okay, I'm making notes. Okay. Anybody else? David, I know you put something in chat and you can't talk right now, so I'll read through that in between sessions and may give you a response or some more questions that comes out of that.
Nanny will just keep on doing what she was doing before the rest of the party showed up.
Which was basically working with the orphans and stuff, or was there something else?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yep.
Okay.
In that case, Nenny and I might be working together for the record of that, because that's one of the things Wrestle's going to be working on.
All right. Well, Gralnar will be training with the local militia, making sure they're ready for combat. Get myself there too.
Okay, but staying at Kaerndahl Holt, basically.
Yeah.
Okay. So, and Brent, I'm sorry, when you said you were doing all that herbalism and the sharing of magic, was that at Kaerndahl Holt, or did you say you went somewhere else?
Yes, but she did it in private. But yes, it was. She didn't go anywhere.
Yeah. All right. That's the main thing, is make sure everyone stayed in Kaerndahl Hold except for Splug. He's the one that went down to telephone on a drinking bender. Okay. 2, 3, 4, 5. Who am I missing? Oh, Blacklight. Okay. All right. Any last questions, comments, complaints about this chapter and how everything went? I mean, what did you like? What did you not like? Favorite memories?
I like the skill tests. I actually really enjoy that.
Which version of it? The one where I had you guys come up with it, the ones where I kind of set it up for you?
Kind of both.
Okay.
Like, it was challenging once you've done your first 2 real strengths, or 3 even. When you get to the 4th one, it's brutal because the chances of saving are slim and none. Like,
Unless you're a bard.
yeah. Right? Like, if Splug's got to do a religion check, I'm screwed. Like, you know. So no, it was very cool. I liked it. I liked the whole thing. So.
Okay. The keep, the Florio keep. I haven't brought anything up for that this whole chapter. Is it still something you guys are interested in? Not so much. I mean, what do you want to do with that? Just kind of like it's a background thing that you may get a benefit from, or would you guys like me to expand upon that more?
Not my thing.
Okay. Anybody else?
I think having it as our base. So if we were, like, when we finish this adventure, maybe we go back there and we meet up. If we separate, that's where we meet up and then head out on our next adventure. But
okay.
As far as managing the keep, it's not really my cup of tea.
Yeah.
I get it.
You know, I thought something that might be fun is somebody joked about it, but what about opening a rare item shop? And
I said that.
with the goal of trying to collect wondrous items for ourselves, and doing that instead of if we set up in a big city or whatnot, set up a shop and went out roving and selling items, I bet we could come across, become dealers in magic items. I would bet that would be fantastic.
It would be cool, but I'm wondering how we manage that. Like, if we put 30 magical items in, or let's just say 10, do we once a month we roll for 5 new magic items,
right?
And see where they land, and if they're like, if we have all uncommon and you roll a rare, you take out 2 uncommons.
And
replace it with the rare.
Yeah, there's something in the DMG, and I think I've got a third party that touches on this a little bit. But just so I'm clear, you're wanting to set up a magic shop to sell your excess magic items, correct?
Maybe
Not necessarily
into different things.
And buy more, like upgrade. You know what I mean? Like
a place that buys and sells. So we'd have stuff for sale, and hopefully people would come to us looking to sell.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Let me look into that.
Some random encounters.
Does anyone object to that? I'm assuming no one's going to say no, but
I just thought that'd be fun, You got
a lot of stuff in there.
But I just want to preface it by saying I don't want to turn it into where you guys just have a magic item shop every week you go to. You can. So what's on the shelves this week? And you buy it. And it's probably something more like a trading thing or a bartering thing with things that you collect. Because I feel like I'm pretty damn generous with you guys on magic items.
Oh yeah. But I think to Don's point, we have a lot in the loot bag that we could turn into other things.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm cool with that. Like I said, as long as it's like a trade or a barter thing. Okay, let me look into that. Do some noodling on that. May or may not have something set up before we start the next chapter. Okay.
Cool. Thanks.
Anybody else? Nope. Okay. All right. So first off, thank you guys. This was awesome. I really enjoyed this. Hopefully this last session wasn't just a slog of listening to me read over and over again. My voice is quite dry right now. I need a bunch of water, a cold beer, or a soda or something. But I enjoyed doing this. I enjoyed coming up with this stuff. So hopefully it was good for you guys as well. What time is it? How are we doing on time?
And you're good at it too, Brian.
I'm not good at it.
Yes, thank you.
ChatGPT is good at it. I'm not going to take credit for this. I kind of plug in what she needs to talk about, and then she expands. I'm like, holy shit, make me cry. So we are 3 hours in. So what I would like to propose next is I'm going to end this session, and then I'm going to turn off the recording, and I want to give you guys a chance to ask or see behind the DM screen if you're interested in that. Things you might have missed, ask questions about things that you wasn't sure about that I can reveal, and do something like that. You guys okay with that?
Yep. I want to
Okay.
know if you actually have a screen in front of you.
Screen
DM
like
screen?
A physical DM screen.
no, I have like a
if
little
you're
no.
peering over it at your monitor. So, okay.
I have a small 8.5 by 11 sheet that has some of the conditions: travel, exhaustion, stealth, and light. Little cheat sheet here that is very old and very stained with coffee and food and whatever else I've spilt over the years. It's taped down to my tabletop, so it'll be
Nice.
a chore to get it off. Oh, sorry. There's one more thing before I end the recording. So what I would like to do, and Thresher on the spot here, is I would like to go around the room and each of you kind of point out one of your favorite things that happened in the campaign that involved either you or another player. Preferably, I'd like to hear you talk about what another player did that you liked. Does that make sense?
Mhm.
Or I guess I'm not trying to pat myself on the back when I say this, or something I did that you really like. Just one moment that sticks out to you in the campaign.
Okay.
You want that like just to you
No, just share with the group.
right now?
Yeah,
Yeah.
right now.
I honestly, I think it's 3/4 awesome, 1/4 hilarious. That the black light is always trying to harvest stuff from the stuff that we kill.
I know.
I was heading there too. I think, honestly, the Blacklight character is awesome, and I love the oddball spells that Bryn and the Blacklight have that just come in clutch. Like, just out of nowhere, there's some weird spell you guys throw in there that just works, like the repelling the dead the other day. That was amazing.
Yeah.
Like, that saved our asses, like, so much. So that stuff I think is awesome. My most memorable moment was turning Helmet green.
Was it turning
I
him
knew you
green,
would
or was
say
it
that.
reminding him of that every episode after that?
Both. But it was like, it was the triggering the trap that caused all those things that I did that caused Helmet grief.
Yeah.
I apologize for, but it was very much fun for me.
What about me asking every session if I was still green? Did you like that part too?
Brilliant too.
Especially, I think at one point you asked me like somebody. I say, "Fine, roll me a D100. If you roll 1 through 10, you're still green." And you rolled like a 9. I'm like, "Okay, you're still green."
You're still green. I think though we downplayed the effect that would have going into a town or going in anywhere, because if it's the standard mark of a thief, it's like if somebody robbed a bank and a dye pack blew up in their face and they showed up at the local coffee shop dyed half pink, people are going to go, 911. Hello.
Mhm.
Yeah, I sucked at that. I kept forgetting about it as well, even though I turned his token green.
Oh, I never forgot it. I never forgot it. Not once.
That's good. Anybody else have one?
Brian, I think your decision when you said that we could open up our own shop, magic item shop, was fantastic.
Okay, let me reword the question. Something that happened before tonight.
No, I think everybody stepped up and played awesome characters. Yeah, I think it's good.
We didn't
You
have
know
as
what?
much.
Go ahead.
I'll say we didn't have as much trouble with people cycling in and out as we had in previous games, so it's kind of good. It was much more fluid for people to like come in and out.
Yeah.
I'm not sure exactly what changed for that, but it actually worked a lot better than when we did it with the when we always did with the NPCs along.
That was some great transitions. How you kind of worked in now we have Bryn, now we don't have Bryn, now we have Groundlar, now we don't have Ground. Like, when you brought in that other person, it
Yeah.
worked awesome.
I think I only did that like a small handful of times where I actually came up with an excuse, but
Yeah.
well, thank you, I guess.
Yeah. That is a nice way to do it, though. I mean, just go about your business, because we all know.
Right.
Yeah. But, shit. I just thought of something. But,
Well, shit, we lost Blacklight. He's not in Discord
Yeah,
anymore.
no, he's been
To remind him to listen to the end of this, or you guys are giving him kudos for things he did and said.
yeah.
He's
Oh, you know
very
what?
original.
I was going to
Very
say,
original.
I liked how towards the end of the season here, or this, what is it, campaign?
Chapter?
Everybody started writing stuff, even if it was, some of it was self-generated and whatnot. That was a lot of good stuff. That was fun to read.
The kind of competition for the recaps after David did his one where it was like his journal,
Yeah.
and then it just spiraled out of control. Like, I did the letter to Groundlar's mom, like, and then everybody came up with something cool and original. Like, whether it was written by ChatGPT or you still have to input it. And
Yeah.
I think everybody
Yeah,
came up
yeah.
with such original ideas. It would be nice if we could almost. I think if you did this week, you shouldn't do for 2 weeks, so that other
Mhm.
people step up. You give people turns.
Oh, you mean as far as doing the recap?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, no one should be able to do it 2 weeks in a row.
Yeah.
And that's cool because
Okay.
For a while there, it was hard to get, most of the time
Oh.
it was, well, I mean, because that was all done by hand too. So
Yeah,
that sucked.
Same here.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. But yeah, that's a good idea.
Okay. Anybody have anything else they want to share?
And maybe we
I'll
should
say
decide.
that.
Go ahead.
I'll say that Splug's insanity is what keeps everything fresh.
Is sanity or insanity? What'd you say there?
His insanity is what keeps everything fresh. It makes us all have to think on our toes. And in that vein, Brian, consider taking away our strategy minute.
Yes, I think so too.
We over strategize.
Well, I don't
Yeah.
think. I think if we're going for quote unquote, and I put that in quotes because it'll never be, but if we're going for realism, we shouldn't get to plan first. We should just have to
play your character.
Just have to do it.
We go back to the if you want something passed along, this like was it 6 words or 12 words you're allowed to say in combat?
Well,
you've
got free action words that you can use.
It's only so many words, all right. Like that's what I mean.
Yeah. But something to consider, Brian, is that I think that it takes us out of the action a little bit when you give us 4 minutes, which is really 1 minute, but really it's 4 minutes to do our check. When really we're going to come up with stuff on the fly, and initiative order means that you can build off what the person did in front of you. But
sometimes
still
you'll be disappointed.
But still require being ready for your turn. So if you can think fast to build off what the guy did in front of you, do it. If not, do what you were going to do, but know what you're going to do ahead of time.
Okay, so it sounds like you guys want me to reinforce what I kind of put out in Discord before the big boss fight. So when it's your turn, just go, and don't worry about it. I mean, by that time you should have had at least 5 minutes, if not 10 minutes, to kind of figure out what you want to do on your next turn and just go. I got no problem with that. I just want to make sure that if we do this, it doesn't turn into. I guess I need to manage that. That's because the issue of it comes your turn, you're not sure. Well, if you're not sure, I'm just going to jump over you and someone else will go.
Well, you got 2 options with that, right? So you can be a hard ass, which I don't mean that in a negative way, and make that person skip their turn. Or, especially in the early time, say, all right, we're going to come back to you, but next turn you have to go.
Yeah.
Yeah, I like that.
All right, we can definitely try it. If the group's all up for it, then
Yeah.
definitely try that.
Put them at the end of the turn order, or where do you let them in?
No, I would say they go next. So if they're third in turn order and they're not ready on third in turn order, then you go to the fourth person and they're directly after the fourth person.
Yeah, just move them down the turn order.
Yep, move them down one spot.
Speaking from experience, and I can't remember which campaign or game it was, my character was severely damaged by somebody's fireball because I was right in the middle of it, and I got frustrated. And
that was Kevin's fireball.
Kevin's fireball, and it pissed me off. And afterwards, I went, "Why am I mad? It's just a shitty turn of the luck, and that's how it is." That to me is better than, like, we have to control our own emotions, right? And just live with the other guy gets to make his move. And if he's going to turn the big bad into a puppy and we have to take it on as a pet, then he turns it into a puppy and we take it on as a pet. It's that more natural progression, I think.
Yeah.
So.
Okay.
But yeah, we just have to accept the other guy's decision as their decision. And it's like when David would levitate guys out of my reach, and now I don't have an attack.
Splug needs to get himself some javelins.
Yeah.
Or a reach weapon.
Or a reach weapon.
Or, hear me out, as they start floating, use your action to grab their legs.
Yeah.
Like, reaction grapple.
But yeah, you just got to let the guy do his turn and listen, pay attention, and adapt to it. That's what I think, anyways.
All right,
but
last call. Anybody else got anything fun or happy or something they liked about this last chapter that they want to share?
I like that David fell in love with the hag. That's freaking hilarious.
She'll be back. She'll be back. Listen, Spug's gonna stand at Spug needs to officiate at their wedding.
Yeah. Oh, he will.
All right, guys. So I'm gonna call it there. I'm still gonna stay on. I'm just gonna end the recording, and we'll dive into the behind-the-scenes stuff.
In that case, if everybody's not heading off yet, can we take a quick chat about the 2024 stuff?
1 second. Let me go and stop the recording.